Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, baseball fans across the world, wherever you may be. Welcome to Game 1 of the Bundesliga Semifinal. This is the game between the first place Heidenheim Heideköpfe of the South and the second place Solingen Alligators of the North. And right now the team introductions have begun, so I'll just turn it over to the PA here in Heidenheim.
Die 17 Marcel Giraud, mit der Rücke Nummer 2 Simon Dietke, die 23 Logan Grigsby, mit der 22 Ricky Torres, die 25 Kilian Gentner, mit der 36 Julius Spann, die 28 Patrick Seifried, der Rücke Nummer 1 Konstantin Holl und mit der Rücke Nummer 5 RJ Happe. Und wir kommen zu Starting 9 hier, erste Bundesliga Süd, 32:8, Deutscher Meister 2009, 2015, 2017. Mit der 32, jetzt wieder, Sascha Lutz. Und mit der 27, Stillfriesen, J. Patchy. Im Centerfield mit der 42, Gary. Second Base mit der 39, mit der Rücke Nummer 14 der Kette hinter der Platte, Simon. Mit der Rücke Nummer 16 an der ersten Base, Ludwig. Mit der Rücke Nummer 7 im Right Field, Applaus für Sean. Mit der Rücke Nummer 30, der Designated Hitter, Johannes. Und last but not least mit der Rücke Nummer 9, das ist der Shortstop, Philipp. Auf dem Mount beginnt heute Clayton Freimuth. Auch begrüßen wir die Coaches, den Manager Klaus Eckle und Markus Winkler. Des Weiteren möchten wir Ihnen die drei Unparteiischen dieses Spiels vorstellen. Die Umpire begrüßen wir herzlich in Heidenheim. Das ist zu einem Jens Weider an der ersten Base, Alexander Hartl an der dritten Base und hinter der Platte sehen wir heute Daniel De Bacco. Und ich darf Sie bitten, sich aus Ihren Plätzen zu erheben, denn Playoff Time. Da wird die Hymne gespielt. Auf geht's, liebe Heideköpfe. Playball. Und zu Beginn erstmal ein kleiner Soundcheck im Heideköpfe Ballpark.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tim Collins. I'm happy to be with you here live on Eurobaseball TV and on meinsportradio.de. Today, fall baseball begins, and it's an old matchup between the Solingen Alligators and the Heidenheim Heideköpfe. Of course, those who remember the 2014 finale here in Southern Germany will never forget that spectacular four-game series these two teams played. Solingen emerged victorious that year. And then a couple years later, they met in the quarterfinal, and the Heidenheim Heideköpfe emerged victorious that year. That was, in fact, 2015. And since then, they have not played each other. So Klaus Eckle exchanging the lineup cards with the home plate umpire. The home plate umpire today, Dan DeBacco. Down the first baseline, Jens Weider. Down the third baseline, Alexander Hartl. And the playoffs are underway here in Germany, as the other series taking place in Regensburg right now is Regensburg versus Bonn. The Bonn Capitals with an unbelievable 40-0 season and they were the first place team in the North. Solingen crept in there on the second to last weekend by outdueling the Paderborn Untouchables, and they managed to slide into second place. The Solingen Alligators finished the regular season and the playoff round with a 26-14 record. The Heidenheim Heideköpfe were in first place in the Bundesliga South with a 32-8 record. And the Heideköpfe are going to take the field with the following defensive alignment. Jay Pecci is playing third base. The shortstop is Philip Schultz. The second baseman is Mitch Nielsen. The first baseman is Ludwig Glaser. That's the infield. The outfield from left to right, Sascha Lutz in left, Gary Owens in center. Sean Larry is in right field. Simon Göring back behind the plate doing the catching, and he will be working with Klaus Eckle's most trusted pitcher, the left-hander, with a German passport, but originally from the Dallas, Texas area. His name is Clayton Freimuth, and he was a postseason hero last year for the Heideköpfe. And so he's going to get the start here as Klaus Eckle wants to start with his best. So Clayton Freimuth is going to face the following lineup for the Solingen Alligators. Lars Zamite-Price leads off playing second base. The shortstop is Daniel Sanchez. He's batting second. The third hitter is Wilson Lee, designated hitter. Lars Anderson, the former Boston Red Sox and current writer for The Athletic. We'll talk a little bit more about him as the game goes along. He's batting cleanup and playing left field. The number 5 hitter is the third baseman, Ben Andrews. Batting sixth and playing first base is the veteran Solingen Alligator, Dustin Hughes. Marcus Stritzek is in right field. He's batting 7th. And Johannes Weidemann, the catcher, is batting 8th. Linus Hartmann, the center fielder, will bat 9th as the left-hander Clayton Freimuth is throwing his warm-up pitches. And I'll give you Freimuth's numbers in just a moment. As you see the left-hander, he was great last year for the Heideköpfe. That was his first year with the Heidenheim Heideköpfe. Before that, he pitched for the Bad Homburg Hornets. And this year, in 69 in the third innings, an ERA of 4.02. He had been used both as a starter and a reliever, and he was planned to be the closer. Klaus Eckle wanted to use him as the closer throughout the season and use Logan Grigsby and R.J. Hively. But those two have sort of been Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde on Mr. Eckle. So Clayton Freimuth is probably the guy that Eckle trusts the most, and so he's going to get the start here in Game 1. His last start was his last appearance was versus the Haar Disciples on September 1st. He pitched 4 innings in that game, only allowed 1 run. And before that, he pitched 5 innings against the Legionnaire. The last time he went more than 5 innings in the game, in fact, was against the Haar Disciples on August 11th. Other than that, he's been used mostly out of the bullpen. And so we'll see how far into this ballgame he can go as we are getting ready to begin here in Heidenheim. It is about 2:06 p.m. And also, before we get going, I want to just give a shout-out and a thanks to Josh Elgart of the Ulm Falcons. Josh is going to be operating the camera today, so we have an actual camera view as Lars Zamite-Price steps up. First pitch is hit on the ground up the middle, a couple of bounces to the left of the shortstop Schultz, and he throws him out. 1 pitch, 1 out. We are underway. So Zamite-Price grounds out 6-3, and a very easy first batter. Throws a little bit high, but Glaser went up to go get it. That'll bring up Daniel Sanchez. Didn't even give you a chance to give you Zamite-Price's numbers. He was hitting .299. Daniel Sanchez hitting at .362 steps up to the plate. 1 out. Nobody on base. And the Solingen Alligators and the Heidenheim Heideköpfe for Game 1. It's a best of 5. And the pitch is a strike called. 0-1 from the left-hander Freimuth. And he works from the stretch. The next one on the way. That one is low, scooped by Göring. Simon Göring behind the plate today. Had not seen action back there for a while. He's dealing with a sore throwing shoulder and always been a good backstop, but he was also very good at keeping the base running game in check as Daniel Sanchez lines a base hit to left center field. Owens gets the ball back in. Sanchez with a pretty big turn, but he will hold on with a single. Sanchez doing what Sanchez does. He seems to hit the ball all over the place. against this team. He's a hitting machine. He came in hitting at 362 with 3 homers, a triple, 12 doubles, and that ball was lined into the gap. So he's up on first base with 1 out for Wilson Lee. Wilson Lee, of course, no stranger to the Bundesliga. He spent 3 years with the Bonn Capitals. Sanchez on first base, and the pitch to Lee is low, scooped by Goering, ball 1. Sanchez is a threat to go. Let's see what the left-hander Freimuth does. So far not going. Ground ball left side. Schultz with a dive. It's off his glove into left field for a base hit. Runners will be at first and second with 1 out rather. Ground ball single off the bat of Wilson Lee. Take another look at this one. The right-hander swinging on the pitch that was a little bit down, and he just sort of rolled over, and Philip Schultz couldn't keep it on the infield. Probably would have been a base hit regardless. And so 2 on for Lars Anderson. Lars Anderson this year batted .302. He had 5 home runs. 3 of those were in the postseason. Lefty against lefty, and the pitch is in there for a strike. Anderson, of course, spent some time with the Boston Red Sox, played a couple of had a couple of cups of coffee up with the big league team, and he's been writing extremely compelling articles for the Athletic for the past 4 months or so. Breaking ball is low and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to the left-handed hitting outfielder. He's from California, from the Sacramento area. One out, 2 on. The pitch, a slow tapper to the right side. The second baseman Nilsson shovels it to Schultz. The relay throw to first is not in time. They do get the trail runner. So Lee is retired. Sanchez goes to third, and Anderson reaches on a fielder's choice. Lee is retired for 6. That's the second out of the inning. And that will bring up Ben Andrews. Ben Andrews this year for the Solingen Alligators had a great year, OPS of 1,115. He had 8 home runs. Also drew 21 walks, batting .380. Powerful right-hand hitter. First and third with 2 down. Infield back. Sanchez at third, and Anderson at first with a pretty big lead. And the pitch looked like a breaking ball in there for a strike, 0-1. Some fans still filing into the ballpark. The weather is perfect here in Heidenheim. Freimuth from the stretch, the 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Runners on first and third. In case you're wondering about Lars Anderson stealing, he is 1 for 2 in stolen base opportunities, or stolen base attempts. And there's a throw over, and he gets back. Freimuth was thinking about it. Solingen with a couple of singles in the inning. Daniel Sanchez lined 1, and then Wilson Lee grounded 1 through the left side. The pitch is outside, ball 2, 2 balls and 1 strike. Freimuth staying away from Andrews. The Solingen Alligators do have a strong offensive ball club. As a team, they hit .279. They had 28 home runs. And the pitch. There's a line shot to right center field. That is a base hit, and it gets past Sean Larry all the way to the wall. Sanchez scores. Anderson motoring around third. He's going to score. Andrews on his way to third base. The relay from Nilsson, not in time. 2-0 Solingen. A 2-run triple for Ben Andrews. And you hear the screaming of the Solingen fans. Let's take a look at this one on the replay. Got a pitch out over the plate and lined it. Sean Larry tried to cut it off, and once it got past him, it was up to Owens to get it off the warning track, and he had to reach for it a couple of times. So that's an easy triple and 2 RBIs. And Solingen out in front. They lead 2-0, and now Dustin Hughes Runner on third base. Ben Andrews, and the pitch from Frymouth. Fouled straight back. Strike one. Hughes, by the way, in batting practice was putting on a show. He was pumping ball after ball out of this ballpark. Heideköpfe ballpark does have a tendency to play a bit small. Short outfield fence. There's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Solingen with 3 hits against Clayton Frymouth in this inning. 2 of the 3 were hit very hard. Daniel Sanchez raked one into the gap, and Ben Andrews really lined one into the alleyway in right center field. He's on third with 2 outs. 0-2 on Dustin Hughes. And the pitch from Frymouth. Fouled away again. Hughes, by the way, hitting at .259 this year, but he does have 5 home runs. 802 OPS. He's a dangerous man at the plate as well. Zaschelitz in left field is playing way off the line. Gary Owens in center is shading him to right. Check swing on a breaking ball in the dirt, blocked by Goering. And they appeal. Did he go? No, says Jens Weidert on the first baseline. So the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, right away, Solingen in front before the fans have even really settled in here. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Andrews off third. The pitch from Frymouth. That's high. 2-2. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. You know, everybody in the north is always speculating about everybody in the south, and I imagine vice versa. You have Bonn, who was 40-0. They're going to take on Regensburg today. And here is Solingen leading Heidenheim. There's a curve. Strike 3 called, and the inning is over. Frymouth gets Dustin Hughes looking to end the inning, but not before Solingen gets 2 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors and 1 man left on base at the end of a half inning of play here in Heidenheim. It is Solingen 2, Heidenheim coming to bat. This is the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Giovanni Tensen, the 21-year-old Dutch right-hander, is on the mound for the Solingen Alligators, and he's going to face the following lineup. Sascha Lutz leads off, Jay Pesci batting second, Gary Owens batting third, Mitch Nilsson is batting cleanup, Simon Goering batting fifth, Ludwig Glaser bats sixth, Sean Larry batting seventh, Johannes Krum, the designated hitter, bats eighth, and then Philip Schultz, the shortstop, is batting ninth. Defensively, for the Solingen Alligators behind Giovanni Tensen, Ben Andrews at third, Daniel Sanchez at short, Lars Zamait-Preuss at second, Dustin Hughes is at first. In the outfield, Lars Anderson in left, Linus Hartmann in center, Marcus Stritzek is in right. The catcher is Johannes Weidemann, and on the mound in pitching, Giovanni Tensen, as Sascha Lutz, the veteran left fielder, the older brother of Donald Lutz, who just announced he's going to come out of retirement and play for the Brisbane Bandits next year. He's going to make himself comfortable in the left-handed batter's box against the right-hander Giovanni Tensen. Now, Tensen, in 80 innings this year, had an ERA of about 3.8, and he's an interesting story. Here's the first pitch, outside ball one. We are underway in the first inning. Giovanni Tensen had pitched in the Hoofdklasse in Netherlands last year for HCAW. And then moved to Germany, had a job working in the Dusseldorf area. There's a pitch inside, ball 2-0. And he basically just showed up to the Solingen Alligators and said, hey, I'm a pitcher. I'd like to try out for you. And they were like, sure. And after a very quick workout, they signed him. Here's the pitch. It's a strike. 2 balls and a strike. So Giovanni Tensen, who works quickly, was basically a walk-on to the Solingen Alligators. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Lutz way out in front. Lutz, by the way, hitting .346. OPS of over 1,000. There is not one single batter in the lineup for the Heideköpfe that doesn't have at least 2 home runs to their credit. There's the 2-2. Low and inside, ball 3. Lutz draws a lot of walks. In fact, 21 of them this year. He has 6 home runs. He's also 12 for 13 with stolen bases. Full count. Here's the pitch from Tensen. Pulled, fouled on the first base line, and we'll do it again. Sasha broke his bat. He's going to get a new one. And while that happens, I'll give you Giovanni Tensen's numbers. 80 in the 3rd innings, 82 hits, 34 earned runs, 30 walks, 48 strikeouts, ERA of 3.81. His last start, he pitched a complete game against Doran, allowing only 4 hits. So he's coming off a good start. Here's the payoff pitch to Sasha Lutz. High, ball 4, and Sasha Lutz is aboard. And the Heideköpfe, trailing 2-0, will bring Jay Pecci to the plate. Well, it's a raucous atmosphere, as it often is here in Heidenheim, but it's always a little bit extra in the playoffs. So Sasha is now on first base. Jay Pecci at the plate. Sasha, I mentioned, 12 out of 13. There's the pitch. Pecci takes inside, ball 1. Pecci hitting .341 on the year with 2 home runs. He has struck out a grand total of twice all year. That is in 150 plate appearances. The next one is a strike over the outside corner, and the count now even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, you hear the Heideköpfe fans. They didn't come here to sit around, that's for sure. They came here to make noise. There's a throw over to first base, and Lutz is back. Tensen is set, and the pitch, line drive, base hit left field. The shortstop Sanchez was way over shading Pecci up the middle, and Pecci slapped it right through that 6-hole. And the first 2 are on for the Heideköpfe. Well, let's see what the future holds for this inning. I think I read somewhere, I believe it was on the Solingen Alligators website, that if you're a fan from low-scoring games, then this might not be the series for you. And we shall see, but Gary Owens, a man with 13 home runs, hitting .440 on the year, steps up with 2 on and nobody out. The pitch, that's up high, 1 ball, no strikes. Tensen, the young right-hander, works from the first base side of the pitching rubber. Ball game was started by Solingen scoring 2 runs in the top half of the inning, but Heidenheim trying to answer right back. We're in the bottom of the first. I have to correct that on the scoreboard. The pitch, curve, and that is high. 2 balls and no strikes on the dangerous Gary Owens. Gary's OPS almost 1,300. Nick Schlecht. Lutz on second, Pecci on first, not being held on. The pitch, fastball outside, and ball 3. Johannes Weidemann was set up outside. Infield back looking, hoping for a double play. And Tensen's pitch. High ball four, the bases are loaded. Well, 2 walks and a single, and so far, things not going according to plan for Giovanni Tensen, and now he's got to deal with Mitch Nielsen. Mitch Nielsen, the Australian native, has dominated from the plate. He's a switch hitter, but he does most of his damage, obviously, batting left-handed. He has a .466 batting average, 17 dingers, 48 runs batted in. For what it's worth, 19 walks, 13 strikeouts. Oh yeah, by the way, 5 out of 6 stolen base attempts as well. He had a 3 home run game earlier this year. And he has the bases loaded and nobody out here. Stritzek in right field is playing very deep. Bases loaded, nobody out. The pitch is a fastball, and it missed low, ball 1. On deck, Simon Göring. 2 walks and a base hit in the inning. Tensen from the stretch, the pitch is a strike. That's a fastball. That one caught the outside corner. First strike that Giovanni Tensen has thrown since Jay Pecci was up there. I think Nielsen was taking all the way. Now the count 1-1, he'll be turned loose. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Tensen. A high pop, he got under it. This is on the right side of the infield. The second baseman, Zamai Price, is under it. Infield fly rule has been called anyway. And the throw to the plate got away. As it's a good thing Tensen was over there to back it up. That was an ill-advised throw from Lars Zamai Price. Pretty good job of Sasha Lutz deking from third. So there's one away. That's a very big out for Giovanni Tensen, but not through the woods yet. Although now you could see the potential of a ground ball turning into a double play. So now Simon Göring. Simon, who's battled through injuries this year, right-hand hitter. And he lines one to right center field. That is going to be a base hit, and it goes all the way to the wall. Lutz coming around third. He scores. Pecci's going to score. Owens right behind him. The relay throw, not in time. Heidenheim 3, Solingen 2. A bases clearing double for Simon Göring. Let's take a look at the replay. But he didn't wait around at all. Got a fat pitch, outer half of the plate, lined it, and it was tailing away from Linus Hartmann, and it went all the way through to the center field fence. And good speed on the bases, and they are no longer on the bases. 3 runs scoring. Heidenheim takes the lead. It is 3-2. And now, still only 1 out. The hitter is Ludwig Glaser. Glaser hit .392 during the regular year. The pitch, that's a fastball strike over the outside corner. Glaser had 2 home runs. Simon Göring, I mentioned he was struggling with injuries. It affects his throwing, but certainly not his hitting. And the 0-1, that's outside, ball 1, 1 ball, 1 strike. There's 1 out in the inning, and already we've had some fireworks in this one. Giovanni Tensen from the stretch. Here's the 1-1. High. 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, Simon Göring picking up his teammate. You know, Mitch Nielsen was upset with himself after that pop out with the bases loaded, but that's the danger of this Heidenheim lineup. There's the 2-1. Shot foul off to the right. That's out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ludwig Glaser looked like he was waiting on that breaking ball. As Lars Zamai Price in to have a chat with the pitcher Giovanni Tensen. Heidenheim 3, Solingen 2. We're only in the bottom of the first inning. But so far it's been a lot of action. Simon Göring is on second base. His double cleared the bases to give Solingen a lead after Ben Andrews' triple gave Solingen the lead. The pitch, breaking ball, pulled down the third baseline, foul. I misspoke. Ben Andrews' triple gave Solingen the lead. Simon's double gave Heidenheim the lead. Entschuldigung bitte. Ball game started at about 6 minutes after 2 p.m. There was a brief opening ceremony with introductions of all the players on both sides. And the Heidenheim fans have brought their noisemakers today, and so far they've had reason to use them. Solingen, they got a whole contingent of noisemakers too. The 2-2 curveball is just a little bit high. Just, I mean just. Let's look at that on the replay. Look to be up. Payoff pitch coming now from Tensen to Ludwig Glaser, who had 2 home runs on the year. Simon Göring on second base. Here it comes. Fly ball off to the right, foul. That one goes over the burger stand. And by the way, I want to give a shout out, schöne Grüße, on the people in the burger stand. They're watching on the big screen. Thank you very much for all your hard work and also for the burgers. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, runner on second base. 3-2 Heidenheim, bottom of the first. Tensen to Glaser, the pitch. Fouled away again. Not a lot of swings and misses. In fact, I can remember one such pitch. That was to Sascha Lutz back on the first batter of the game. Full count, 1 out. Göring on second base. The pitch to Glaser. Ground ball to the right side. Zamit stays down on it. He's got plenty of time and throws to first in time to get Glaser. Moving to third on the play is Simon Göring, and there are 2 down. And that will bring up Sean Larry. Sean Larry this year had a career best 8 home runs. He hit .286. He strikes out a lot, but when he produces as much as he does, still at an OPS of .939. 26 walks also. Has 1 triple and 4 doubles. So a little bit all or nothing. And the first pitch is outside for a ball. Left-hand hitter with lots of power. 7th man to bat here in the inning. So neither pitcher a very convincing start. As Tensen, the right-hander, comes set. Göring off third, the 1-0. That's low, 2-0. Tensen has been behind every hitter in the inning. And against this lineup, that is a tough thing to do. The Heideköpfe as a team drew 199 walks in 40 games. Here's the 2-0 on the way to Larry. And the fastball is high, 3-0. 3-2 Heidenheim. Bottom of the first. The pitch. That's outside. Ball 4. Larry draws the walk. That is the 3rd walk of the inning for Giovanni Tensen. And it's going to draw a mound visit. Wayne O is going to come out of the dugout. There's double-barreled activity in the bullpen for the Alligators already. As Wayne O, this is playoffs. I believe that's Niels Hartkopf over there throwing, and then there's one other fellow with a jacket on. The ball game started in a promising fashion for the Alligators. They scored 2 runs on 3 hits against Freimuth. But as people were predicting, at least the first inning of this game has gone the way folks thought it might be. And it's been a Schlagabtausch so far, with both teams trading barbs. 2 runs for the Alligators on 3 hits. The Heideköpfe with 3 runs on 2 hits. And Wayne O is going to stick with his starter. And the mound visit is over with. So Giovanni Tensen is going to try to work himself out of this jam. And he's going to have to deal with the number 8 hitter, the designated hitter, Johannes Krom. Tensen already at 29 pitches in the ball game. So Johannes Krum now the hitter. Krum with first and third. Larry is a threat to go, by the way. He is only 2 for 3 in stolen base department, but he's got good speed as Krum hits a big chopper to third. Andrews gets it and sidearms it across in time, and the inning is over. So after the mound visit, 1 pitch. But the Heideköpfe, they score 3 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and 2 left on base. At the end of one very eventful inning of baseball, it is the Heideköpfe 3, the Alligators 2. This is Game 1 of the 2018 Baseball Bundesliga Semifinals. Präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. We are back, and it is the top of the second inning. Heidenheim 3, Solingen 2, as the first pitch was fouled away off the bat of Marcus Stritzek. Clayton Freimuth threw 19 pitches in the first inning, gave up 2 runs on 3 hits. There's another foul to the screen. The count very quickly 0-2 on Stritzek. 7-8-9, Marcus Stritzek, Jo Weidemann, and Linus Hartmann. Stritzek, the right fielder today, against Clayton Freimuth. And the left-hander's pitch is popped up. Middle of the diamond. Schultz can't find it. The ball is also spinning towards the second baseman, Mitch Nilsson, who makes the catch anyway. That ball had strange spin on it. It looked like it was hit off the end of the bat. And so there's one away here in the second inning. And that will bring up Johannes Weidemann. Weidemann in 28 games batted .135, 12 hits and 89 at-bats. He's in there to catch, and the pitch outside. Longtime Solingen catcher Julian Steinberg has battled injuries the past couple of years, and he only played in 2 games this year. There's the 1-0 from Freimuth. That's a strike on the outside edge. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, the bullpen activity has subsided for the Alligators. So Giovanni Tenson is going to get back out there for the second inning, I presume, as Freimuth peppers the outside corner for strike 2. Infield is back. Pesci at third. Schultz the shortstop. Nielsen the second baseman. Glaser is at first. The outfield, Lutz, Owens, and Larry. They are shading Weidemann way over to the right. Here's the 1-2. Fouled to the screen. Just got a piece. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Freimuth has 1 strikeout in the game. He has not walked a batter, just allowed the 3 base hits. Single to Sanchez, single to Wilson Lee, and then the 2-run triple to Ben Andrews, who lined one to the right center field alleyway in the first inning. Here's the 1-2 to Weidemann. Slow ground ball hit to the shortstop Schultz. He charges, fields, throws, and gets his man. That's the second out of the inning. A couple of ground, well, one pop-up, one grounder, excuse me, and with 2 down, that'll bring up Linus Hartmann. Linus Hartmann in 27 games hit 133. He had 6 hits in 45 at-bats. He also drew 5 walks. So we are now getting to the young contingency of players for the Solingen Alligators. Hartmann is a left-handed hitter. He's playing center field today. 2 outs and nobody on, and the pitch is a strike. Freimuth, who faced 6 hitters in the first, is now trying to have a 1-2-3 second. And his 0-1, swinging and a miss, 0-2. Might have been a slider away. Lefty against lefty, that's a tough one. The 0-2. That one fouled off the mask of Simon Göring. Very defensive hack from Hartmann. Hartmann wearing the green stirrups today. Clayton Freimuth, I'm trying to have a shutdown inning, I suppose you could call it. Here's the 0-2. Fastball is high. Göring trying to bring that one down for Dan DiBacco. Solingen scored 2 in the first. Heidenheim scored 3 in the bottom of the first. Here's the 1-2. Fouled again off. That time it looked like the chest protector of the home plate umpire, Dan DiBacco. So Hartmann swung and missed once, and he's swung and foul tipped twice. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Nobody on base, 2 outs in the inning. We're in the top of the second, 3-2 Heidenheim. And the pitch. Got him swinging with a breaking ball. And the inning is over. Clayton Freimuth with a 1-2-3. Sends us to the bottom of the second inning with Heidenheim leading by a score of 3-2. This is the 2018 Baseball Bundesliga Semifinal, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Welcome back to the bottom of the second inning. Heidenheim 3, Solingen 2. Game 1 of the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal. And Giovanni Tensen, who had to labor throwing 32 pitches in the bottom of the first inning, will toe the rubber one more time, and he's going to deal with 9, 1, and 2. Philip Schultz takes the ball inside. 1 ball, no strikes. It'll be Schultz, Sasha Lutz, and Jay Pesci. Schultz, not your typical number 9 hitter. He's been the number 9 hitter going back a couple of years for the Heideköpfe, but he really came into his own this year offensively. The 1-0 is a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. He batted overall .273, but he hit 5 home runs. He drew 29 walks, and he stole 13 bases in 16 tries, and he drops down a bunt, but it goes foul backwards. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's a big part of Schultz's game, is bunting and trying to get on base. He can be very annoying to the pitcher once he gets on. And he had an OPS of 853 from the number 9 spot this year. switch hitter, batting left-handed. He's also played a very solid shortstop. And Tensen's 1-2. Hit in the air to center field. Hartmann started in, now he's drifting back. He's got a beat on it, and he puts it away for the first out. That ball traveling a little bit further than I think Linus Hartmann thought it would. Hit off the end of the bat, and there's one away. That will bring up the top of the order, Sascha Lutz. Lutz his first time walked and came around to score. I mentioned Sascha's fantastic numbers offensively. He's been playing in the baseball Bundesliga since 1999. Left-hand hitter, and the pitch is upstairs. Ball one from Tensen. So Tensen, who is 21 years old, was but a toddler when Sascha Lutz was getting his start in the Bundesliga. The 1-0 outside, ball two. Sascha's got power, obviously. And he's got a very good eye. Doesn't swing and miss very often. Tensen's 2-0 to him. Outside again, ball three. That one skips off the glove of Weidemann and goes back to the screen. Retrieved by Wayno. 3 balls, no strikes. Don't think Lutz might not be swinging here. He might have the green light. Heidenheim 3, Solingen 2. Here's the pitch. And he takes way outside, ball 4. So Sascha's walked twice, and that will bring up Jay Pecci, as you see Pecci grabbing some dirt from the left-hand batter's box. Johannes Weidemann out to the mound to have a discussion with Giovanni Tensen. Sascha will be held on by Dustin Hughes. That's a couple of veteran ball players there. Pecci, his first time, lined a single to left field, and he scored eventually when Simon Göring cleared the bases with a double to the gap. Sascha taking his lead off first. He's not going. The pitch is inside. Sascha faking. Ball one. 5 straight pitches out of the strike zone from Tensen. Obviously, Tensen wants to be careful with the meat of the Heidenheim lineup. The problem is there's really no weak part of the lineup. Here's the 1-0. And Pecci takes the strike, 1-1. Heidenheim fans always ready to roar. Drum roll, please. Lutz off first base. 1-1, 1 out. And the pitch. Strike 2 on the outside corner. 1-2 now. Tensen is set. Here's the 1-2 pitch. There goes Lutz. Swung on, ground ball, base hit into right field. Lutz takes the turn. He's headed to third. He will make it without a throw. Perfectly executed hit and run by Jay Pecci. Sascha took off. Didn't have a particularly great jump, but Jay pulled it through the hole, and just like that, the Heideköpfe are in business. First and third, and Gary Owens coming up to the plate. Gary, his first time, walked. And so he's going to come with ducks on the pond. First and third and 1 out. Owens, his first time, I told you he walked and scored. Right-hand hitter with a ton of power. Heidenheim 3, Solingen 2, looking for more. Giovanni Tensen comes set, and the pitch is a strike at the outside corner. Pecci, by the way, 11 out of 15 in stolen bases, so you got to keep an eye on him as well. Klaus Eckle is apt to try the first and third running thing, but maybe not until 2 strikes are on Gary Owens. 0-1, here it comes. And Owens swings, and it's a high fly ball, left center field. It'll stay in the ballpark. Hartmann is calling for it, makes the catch. Lutz tags from third. Here's the throw to the plate. Not in time. Sascha scores, and it is 4-2 on the sacrifice fly off the bat of Gary Owens. Well, it was hit very high, and Owens maybe got it off the end of the bat. Take another look at the pitch. He got way under it, but it was well into the outfield, and Linus Hartmann calling off the left fielder Lars Anderson. And let's come into the plate and scoring easily. So now Mitch Nilsson. And Nilsson takes his strike over the outside corner. Nilsson came up to the plate with the bases loaded and nobody out his first time and popped out to the second baseman. Jay Pesci on first base. 2 outs in the inning. And Tenson's pitch, low and in the dirt, blocked by Weidemann. No advance by Pesci. 1-1 the count. The Heideköpfe fans are always ready to rock in the playoffs. Pesci out first, not going. The pitch is outside. Ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Giovanni Tenson trying to eke his way through another inning here. He's given up 4 runs on 3 hits. Nilsson, a dangerous hitter, 17 home runs at the plate. There's a throw to first base, and Pesci dives back. Two and 1 on Mitch Nilsson, 2 down in the inning. Heidenheim 4, Solingen 2. Tenson is ready. Here's the pitch. Taken low and outside, an off-speed pitch. Nilsson not expanding the zone. He's looking for something in, and Tenson not giving it to him. Ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike. Pesci on first base. Here it comes. And a strike on the outside corner. Nilsson was getting ready to take off his shin guard. And he has to stop and do it again. We're in the bottom of the second inning. That will send Jay Pesci free from first base. 3 and 2 with 2 outs. He will be running. And there he goes. The pitch is low and inside. That's ball 4. So Pesci goes to second. Nilsson earns a walk, and that'll bring up Simon Göring. And Simon doubled to the gap in right center field with the bases loaded his first time, driving in 3 runs. And he's going to come up again with 2 on here in the bottom of the second inning. Göring, another tough guy to strike out. He struck out 4 times all year in 145 plate appearances. So he's up there with first and second and 2 outs. Pesci the lead runner, Nilsson the trail runner, Tenson on the mound. And the pitch. Up and in, ball 1. Solingen scored 2 in the first, a 2-run triple to Ben Andrews, but Heidenheim answered immediately, and they lead 4-2. Here's the pitch. Line shot, right field. That's a base hit. They're going to wave Pesci around. Stritzek comes up throwing. His throw is not in time. Göring goes to second. The throw there is not in time. Runners on second and third. 5-2 Heidenheim. Simon Göring with 4 runs batted in. Well, let's take a look at the pitch. Simon, both of his hits going to right field. This one a fastball away. He just serves it into right field. Stritzek, a good throw to the plate, but not in time to get Pesci scoring. And Weidemann also on top of it, throwing to second base behind Göring, but he got under the tag. Jens Weider was right there to make the call. And so Heidenheim extends the lead. It is 5-2. And more activity in the bullpen. Right now, Weidemann is out on the mound, stalling, I believe. Zen DeBacco staring out at the mound, waiting for that meeting to be over with. There's a left-hander warming up for the Solingen Alligators. And that's going to be, I can't see the number, so we'll let you know who that is once he is brought in. Giovanni Tenson has labored hard so far in this one. And he's facing Ludwig Glaser. Runners on second and third with 2 outs. 5-2, and the pitch is outside, ball 1. Glaser, his first time, had a long at bat, ended up grounding out to the second baseman, Samait-Preuss. Nilsson is at third, Göring is at second. 5-2 Heidenheim. And Giovanni Tenson dealing to Ludwig Glaser. The pitch popped foul behind the plate, and it's going to get over the screen and land in the grandstands. Strike 1 on Glaser. The inning started with Philip Schultz flying out, but then Sasha Lutz walked. Jay Pesci singled for the second time. And Owens brought home Lutz with a sac fly. Nilsson walked, and then Simon Göring, an RBI single. 2 more runs have crossed the plate. Heidenheim 5, Solingen 2. 1 ball, 1 strike on Ludwig Glaser. Giovanni Tenson deals. Ground ball towards the shortstop. Daniel Sanchez fields, throws to first, and it's in time. The inning is over. But another productive inning. 7 men come to the plate for the Heidenheim Heideköpfe, and they score 2 more runs with the benefit of only 2 base hits, 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and 2 left on base. We go to the 3rd inning here in Heidenheim. It is the Heideköpfe 5, the Alligators 2. This is the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. We go to the top of the 3rd inning. Heidenheim 5, Solingen 2. My name is Tim Collins, along with the wonderful camera work of Joshua Elgart. Happy to have you with us here on a beautiful Saturday afternoon here in the hills of Heidenheim. Clayton Freimuth back to work with a 3-run lead, and he's going to face the top of the order, Lars Samait-Preuss. And the first pitch, a strike. Samait-Preuss saw a grand total of 1 pitch in his first at-bat, and he grounded to the shortstop, Philip Schultz. It'll be Samait-Preuss, Daniel Sanchez, Wilson Lee. The pitch, strike 2 over the outside corner. 0-2 to Lars. And Freimuth asks for a new baseball. A lot of fans here still showing up in Heidenheim. The weather is beautiful. It's about 18, 19 Celsius. Some puffy, friendly clouds floating above. In between blue sky. A very, very light breeze, almost none. Here's the 0-2. Curve is high, 1 ball and 2 strikes. But it does have that crisp fall feel to it, as it should for playoff baseball. The kids are going back to school soon. If they haven't already, the pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 3. That's the 3rd strikeout for Mr. Freimuth, and he blew a fastball past Lars Samait-Preuss. So there's 1 away. And that's going to bring up Daniel Sanchez. Sanchez singled, a solid single in left field his first time, and then he came around to score. Daniel Sanchez hit .362 in the regular year, had an OPS of .982, 3 home runs. He's been with the Solingen Alligators since 2014. And he really has found a home in Solingen. The pitch that's outside. He was a key part of the 2014 championship that Solingen won. That was their second. They've won it in 2006 as well. There's the 1-0 pitch. This ball drilled foul to right field, out of play, 1 ball and 2 strikes. That was the year Wayno was a position player for the Alligators back then. He's coaching now. Norman Eberhardt was the coach, and they were not the favorites to defeat the Heideköpfe, but they did so in 4 games. There's the 1-1. Curve is low, 2-1. Behind the pitching of Harry Glynn and Chris Metzger. Who could forget that Game 4 performance? He outdueled Tyler Lockwood. There's a ground ball to the right side. Base hit past the diving Mitch Nilsson into right field, and Daniel Sanchez inside outs his way to first base. And he's aboard, and he might be a threat to go, although with a 3-run deficit, possibly not. Daniel Sanchez did steal 13 out of 17 bases this year. So a 1-out single, he's 2 for 2, and Wilson Lee will step up to the plate now. Lee singled his first time as well. It is 5-2 Heidenheim. Solingen led 2-0 after half inning, but Heidenheim answered with 3 right away. And the pitch to Wilson Lee is a strike, 0-1. Lee this year batted .422 with 5 home runs. He was an excellent two-way player. He refound his form after slumping greatly at the end of the year last year for Bonn. There's a throw to first base behind Sanchez. He's back easily. Now Lee will be pitching tomorrow for Solingen. Here's the 0-1. That's low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, both of these teams have had their question marks as far as who's going to be the one to log the most innings as a pitcher and be the most effective. Klaus Eckle electing to use Clayton Freimuth as his starter for this game. 1-1. And the pitch is hit in the air to right center field. Owens drifting over. That ball's going to land in front of Sean Larry. A jam shot. So Wilson Lee, 2 for 2. Runners on first and second. And Lars Anderson will step to the plate, representing the tying run. Ball hit off the handles. And Lee had such a big swing. I think both the outfielders were kind of fooled by it a little bit. And so now Lars Anderson will step up to the plate. Anderson is going to turn 31 later this month. And time is called. In fact, Lars Anderson made his Major League debut on September the 6th, 8 years ago yesterday, for the Boston Red Sox. And the pitch, breaking ball, and that is low, ball 1, 1 ball, no strikes. And since then, he's played for the Sydney Blue Sox. He's played independent ball in Japan for a team called the Kochi Fighting Dogs. And he swings and fouls this one away. 1 ball, 1 strike. That same team also employed Manny Ramirez, Hideki Irabu, and among others, Frederick Envie. Those of you who might know who Frederick Envie is. Frederick Envie is an outfielder, played many years for the French national team. So some notable players on that team. 1-1 the count to him. Ground ball to the right side. Nilsson has to go to his left to get it. He has no play at second, so he goes to first to get Anderson. Both runners move up. Ball hit too slowly to get a double play. And so, 2 down, and Ben Andrews will step up to the plate. Andrews with a base open. You might see Freimuth be very, very careful with Andrews. Andrews tripled to drive home 2 runs his last time. He represents the tying run with Sanchez and Lee on the bases. Let's see what Freimuth does with them. Here's the first pitch on the way. And he throws him a curve and gets it in at the very top of the knees. Strike 1 on Andrews. Andrews Went to Linfield College in Oregon, also has played in Australia. 23 years of age. And he steps out to take a few practice swings. Sanchez at third. Wilson Lee at second. Good speed on the bases. And the 0-1. Low, blocked by Goering, and he pops up quickly looking down at Sanchez. 1 ball, 1 strike. There are 2 outs in the inning. Heidenheim 5, Solingen 2. Top of the third.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, there's been some fireworks so far. Andrews, his first time, tripled to drive home 2. Simon Goering with 4 runs batted in for the Heideköpfe so far. Gary Owens with a sac fly for the other one. Freimuth waiting for the sign. Now he's got one he likes. He comes set. 1-1. Here it comes. And he throws a curve and it bounces in there. Ball 2. 2-1. So far, he has not thrown the fastball to Andrews.
Come on, flip your hands.
You have runners on second and third. Freimuth working deliberately. 2-1 on Andrews. Here it comes. And he lines it into left center field. Lutz is over. He is not going to be able to get it. It's a base hit. Sanchez in to score. Around third to the plate. Here is Wilson Lee to score. And it's 5-4 on a 2-run single off the bat of Ben Andrews, and he's got 4 runs batted in. With 2 outs. Obviously, Wilson Lee was going at the crack of the bat. He scored easily. Lutz not a great arm in left field. And he came in with the fastball. And I think Lutz thought about trying to dive for it and could not do so. Philip Schultz wisely holding on to the ball. And so this is a 1-run ball game again. And Dustin Hughes steps up to the plate. Andrews on first base being held on by Ludwig Glaser. 5-4, 2 outs. The pitch is a strike on the outside corner of the knees. Andrews was 4 out of 5 stealing bases, so you can't rule that out either. And the pitch. Curveball hit on the ground to third, backhanded by Pecci. He goes to second in time for the force, and the inning is over. Good play by Jay Pecci as he went down to a knee to make the play. But Solingen scores 2 more runs to bring it to within 5-4. And we go to the bottom of the third inning. This is the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD, Heidenheim 5, Solingen 4. Welcome back to the bottom of the third inning. My name is Tim Collins, along with Josh Elgart running the camera. And the Heidenheim Heideköpfe leading the Solingen Alligators by a score of 5-4. This is the first game of a best-of-5 semifinal. We are going to the bottom of the third inning, and it will be Sean Larry, Johannes Krumm, and Philip Schultz against a new pitcher for the Solingen Alligators. And the first pitch is high, ball one. The new pitcher is Lucas Kirchhoff. So Giovanni Tensen only goes 2 innings. And the youngster's pitch is hit in the air to left field towards the line. A long run for Anderson. He's going to run out of room. That ball is over the other side of the fence anyway. So Lucas Kirchhoff takes over for Giovanni Tensen, who went 2 innings. Kirchhoff, young left-hander, comes in with an ERA of 3.78. He's pitched 16 2/3 innings this year, allowed 12 walks and 11 strikeouts. And so he is tasked with picking up where Tensen left off. Tensen, 2 innings, 5 runs on only 4 hits. Sean Larry with a 1-1 count. Here's the pitch from the left-hander. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Kirchhoff has a very awkward delivery. He almost falls backwards off the mound towards the third base side, and I could see that being tough for the hitters to pick up. As meanwhile, the wind picks up here a little bit. The 1-2 pitch. That one is low and skips away from Weidemann. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lucas Kirchhoff is 19 years of age. Left-hander who's been in the Solingen family, I guess you could say, since 2009, as Larry fouls off a little breaking ball. The scoring started right away in this ball game with Ben Andrews tripling home 2 runs, and then Simon Göring doubled home 3 for the Heideköpfe in the bottom of the first. There's the pitch in the dirt, ball 3, 3-2. Simon Göring has 4 runs batted in for the Heidenheim Heideköpfe. Ben Andrews has 4 for the Alligators. And the score is 5-4. Gary Owens has a sac fly for the other run. Here's the payoff to Larry. Swing and a miss, he got him. The pitch in the dirt, Larry doesn't realize it. The ball was retrieved by Weidemann, who applies the tag. 1 away. Take a look at this pitch from Lucas Kirchhoff. Good breaking ball, and Larry way out in front. So there's 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning. And Johannes Krumm, who grounded to third base his first time, steps up to the plate. And Kirchhoff's pitch, fastball in there for a strike. 0-1. The Alligators have some flexibility with the arms they can throw out there. The next one on the corner, strike 2. Good pitch from Kirchhoff. As far as foreigners go, they only have 1 foreign pitcher. That's Wilson Lee. So he can only pitch tomorrow, but everybody else can be put in there whenever. There's a bouncing ball to third. Andrews was deep, but he has plenty of time to throw across and get Krumm. 2 down. Lucas Kirchhoff coming on and throwing some strikes. So the 19-year-old is now going to face Philip Schultz. Schultz is going to turn around and bat right-handed now. He flied to center field his first time. And Kirchhoff's pitch is in there for a strike. Good pitch. Lucas, his first batter, he went to a full count, but since then he's, in a very small sample, of course, he's thrown some first pitch strikes. Here's the next one. That one is low. 1 ball and 1 strike. One drilled down the left field line. That is foul. And out of the ballpark, down the hill into the Kletterwald. And there go a bunch of kids. Let's hope they don't destroy the cable for the center field camera while they're out there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. If the camera goes dark, you'll know why. And the next one, low and in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. There are 2 outs, nobody on. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 5-4, Heidenheim leading Solingen. Here's the 2-2. And it's a little high. Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes on Philip Schultz. Schultz does draw a lot of walks. He drew 29 of them during the season. Here's the payoff. And there is ball 4. He takes the walk. So he's on with 2 outs. I would not be surprised if he goes. So Sascha Lutz will step up to the plate now. Sascha has walked twice and scored twice. That was all against Tenson. And the pitch to Sascha is not made as Kirchhoff steps off the mound. Philip Schultz being held on by Dustin Hughes on first base. And a throw over there. And he is back. Here it comes. Sascha takes a pitch on the outside corner, 0-1. Lutz with a long look down the third base coach, Klaus Eckle. Everybody on the infield is back. The outfield is deep and straight away. Schultz off first and another throw over there. I mentioned Schultz's base stealing, 13 out of 16. And that's what Kirchhoff and the Alligators are thinking about. There's another throw over. So far, Kirchhoff has not shown a highly deceptive move. He holds his leg up and he lifts it up and holds it there. Now the pitch to Lutz hits him in the backside, and there will be 2 on and 2 out. So Sascha's been on base 3 times. He has not had to swing the bat yet. 2 walks, and now he's been hit. And Jay Pecci will step up. Pecci will turn around and bat right-handed. He's 2 for 2. Each time Sascha Lutz drew a walk, Pecci followed him up with a single. And both times, both gentlemen scored. 2 on, 2 out. 5-4 Heidenheim. And Kirchhoff's pitch, that's a backdoor curve, and he hits the corner. That's a good pitch. Strike 1. Solingen scored 2 in the first inning. Heidenheim scored 3 in the bottom of the first. They scored 2 more in the bottom of the second, but then Solingen scored 2 in the top of the third. Heidenheim trying to tack somewhere on here in the bottom half. 2 on and 2 out. Here's the pitch. A little flare to the right side. This is going to be caught by the second baseman, Lars Zamait-Preuss, easily, and the inning is over. So the Heideköpfe get 2 base runners, but they cannot score. No runs, no hits, no errors, 2 left on base. At the end of 3 complete, it is the Heideköpfe 5, the Solingen Alligators 4. This is the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Welcome to the top of the fourth inning. This is the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal Game 1, Heidenheim 5, Solingen 4. And stepping up to the plate, Marcus Stritzek swings and misses, foul tipped actually, strike one. Clayton Freimuth still on the mound for the Heidenheim Heideköpfe. He's thrown 53 pitches. He's given up 6 hits and 4 runs, 3 strikeouts, no walks. All 4 RBIs to Ben Andrews. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Stritzek, Weidemann, and Linus Hartmann, 7, 8, 9 in the order for the Solingen Alligators. And this is the part of the lineup where Freimuth would really love to come through cleanly and not allow any base runners. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3 on a breaking ball. Stritzek nowhere close, and down he goes. Take a look at this pitch from Freimuth. Perfectly located, down. And Stritzek goes over the top. That is strikeout number 1, 2, 3, 4 for Clayton Freimuth. So that'll bring up Johannes Weidemann. Weidemann, the catcher today. And he is 0 for 1, grounded to short his first time. The pitch, fastball, strike on the outside corner. 4 consecutive strikes for Freimuth. Heidenheim scored 3 in the first, 2 in the second. Solingen with 2 in the first and 2 more in the third. The next one, bunted foul. That one came up and hit Weidemann, excuse me. I have a friend whose last name is Weidemuller, and I'm going to be confusing the two the whole time. My apologies to Johannes Weidemann. 1 ball, 1 strike. Oh, no balls and 2 strikes, excuse me. That's 5 consecutive strikes for Clayton Freimuth. Left-hander works from the stretch exclusively. Comes set, here's the 0-2. Got him swinging, fastball away. Why should you mess around with anything else? He just came right after him, and that's 6 consecutive strikes here in this inning. As you see, he hit the glove perfectly. And so now Linus Hartmann, who was a strikeout victim his first time. Left-hand hitter, and the pitch is a strike. Well, that's 7 in a row. Freimuth working quickly. Here's the 0-1. Ball 1, just missed outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. So no immaculate inning. 1-1. A little bit low, and the count 2-1. Freimuth, the left-hander, trying to prevent the top of the order from coming to the plate this inning. There's a line shot, and that is a solid base hit into right field. So Linus Hartmann, who struck out his first time, this time that's a very solid, loud single into right field. And the top of the order will come to the plate in this inning. A loud crack off the bat of Linus Hartmann. And so Lars Samait-Preuss will step up. Samait-Preuss is 0 for 2. And the pitch to him is hit on the line to right side, and that's a base hit. As Hartmann had to duck to get out of the way of that one. He was almost hit in the noggin with that little flare of a line drive off the end of the bat. But a 2-out rally now as Daniel Sanchez will come to the plate. Take a look at this one. First pitch swinging, Samait-Preuss got a pitch down and sort of served it over the head of the runner, Linus Hartmann, into right field. No chance for Nilsson or Glaser to get over there and get the ball. And so now Daniel Sanchez. It has not been easy in any of the innings. There has not been, other than the top of the second inning, a 1-2-3 inning for either pitcher. So Daniel Sanchez now, who's 2 for 2 with 2 solid singles, is going to step up to the plate. 2 on and 2 out. Heideköpfe had 2 on and 2 out last inning, couldn't score. Freimuth trying to keep it that way with Hartmann and Samait-Preuss. Good speed on the bases. The pitch to Sanchez is hit in the air to center field. Owens is right there in his tracks, and he puts it away to end the threat. Breaking ball, and Sanchez hit it off the end of the bat. So no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning here in Heidenheim. This is game 1 of the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal. Heidenheim 5, Solingen 4. Präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Welcome back to the bottom of the 4th inning. Heidenheim 5, Solingen 4. And Gary Owens will step up to the plate to be followed by Mitch Nielsen and Simon Göring. 3, 4, and 5. And this will be the young left-handers Lucas Kirchhoff's first look at Gary Owens. And the first pitch is a strike at the knees in the outside corner, 0-1 to Owens. Kirchhoff came on and pitched a scoreless 3rd. He did walk 1 batter and hit another, but he did not give up a hit and struck out 1. The next one is a curve way high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kirchhoff is about as skinny as you could possibly imagine. He looks like Ichabod Crane. A lanky, tall left-hander. Herky-jerky delivery. This ball shot foul down the first base side. That ball still in the corner being retrieved by the right fielder Marcus Stritzek. Gary Owens has a 1 ball and 2 strike count. Nobody out. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. The ball game was started by Giovanni Tenson. He lasted 2 innings. There's the 1-2. Curveball is low, taken by Owens, blocked by Weidemann. And the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Meanwhile, in Regensburg is leading Bonn by a score of 3-1. That ball game in the 4th. There's a chopper on the ground up the middle to the shortstop Sanchez, who got kind of a funny hop, but snagged it and threw out Gary Owens for the first out. 1 away. And that's going to bring up Mitch Nielsen. And Nielsen stepping up his first time batting right-handed. He had 2 at-bats from the left side. He popped out with the bases loaded his first time, and then he walked in the 2nd inning, so now he will bat right-handed. And the pitch from Lucas Kirchhoff is way high and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. We don't have left-handed and right-handed splits on the stats here in the Bundesliga, so I don't know how many of Mitch's 17 home runs were hit from the right side. But I presume, just based on the fact that there aren't all that many left-handed pitchers, as the next pitch is high, 2-0. There aren't very many left-hand pitchers in the Bundesliga that most if not all of his home runs were probably hit from the left side. Here's the 2-0. That's low and inside. 3-0. He probably will still be swinging here, though. Kirchhoff has walked 1 and hit a batter. Tenson walked 5 while he was in there, so a lot of extra base runners having been given to the Heideköpfe. That's why they have 5 runs on only 4 hits. 3-0 on Mitch Nielsen. The pitch on the way. And the automatic is in for strike 1. Nielsen was taking. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning here in Heidenheim. 5-4 Heideköpfe. The pitch hit in the air to right field, playable for Stritzek. He drifts a few steps to his right and one-hands it about eye high. That's the second out. And so that will bring up Simon Göring. Göring so far today has had a good weekend. He's 2 for 2 with a double and a single. He has driven in 4 runs already. His double with the bases loaded in the first inning was the answer to the Ben Andrews triple in the first inning. Andrews for the Alligators tripled home 2 runs, and then Simon, with the bases loaded, doubled home 3 to give the Heideköpfe the lead, and they've had the lead ever since. And he squares and bunts it foul. That ball hit him in the leg and rolls up the first baseline. Strike 1 on Simon. And the young pitcher Lucas Kirchhoff has come on in relief of Giovanni Tenson. He's got a very herky-jerky delivery. He sort of bends his back knee and falls backwards towards the third base side and comes directly over the top. Very lanky left-hander. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a tapper foul, 0-2 on Simon Göring. Simon, who batted .500 on the nose in the regular season, has only made it go up by going 2 for 2 today. The 0-2. This is line to left field on a hanging breaking ball, an easy base hit for Simon Göring over the shortstop Daniel Sanchez and in front of Lars Anderson. So Simon is aboard. So he is 3 for 3, 2 singles and a double, and Ludwig Glaser will step up to the plate. Glaser looks down at the third base coach Klaus Eckle giving signs. Simon, by the way, he's the catcher, but don't rule him out as a stolen base threat. He is 11 for 11 stealing. And you got a young catcher, Jo Weidemann, behind the plate. We'll see what Simon does here with 2 outs and Glaser at the plate. The pitch is a strike, and Göring takes off, and nobody covered, so he's there with the stolen base easily. Göring, a bit of a delayed steal, and caught everybody by surprise in the Alligators infield. Zamite Price was the only one to even react, and Göring beat him to the bag. So Simon steals second base on the first pitch, and Ludwig Glaser now with an RBI chance. It is 5-4 Heidenheim. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. And Kirchhoff deals to Glaser. Swing and a miss. Glaser went chasing a pitch that was up, and he was late on it, 0-2. Ludwig this year batted .392. He had 2 home runs. Another tough guy to strike out. Struck out only 10 times all year. So you figure he'll put the ball in play. Big hole on the right side between Zamite, Preuss, and Hughes. The 0-2, inside and high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now the atmosphere here in Heidenheim is always first class when it comes to energy and fans being into the game. And Solingen, of course, second to none on their side. Here's the 1-2. Shot foul off to the right, out of play up onto the hill. And the count still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ludwig Glaser, former Anaheim Angels minor leaguer back in the early 2000s. Heideköpfe, one of the more experienced teams in the Bundesliga as far as professional experience goes. Glaser is one of the former national team players. Pitches swung on and pulled foul at the third base side. Simon Göring on second base. Glaser takes a few practice swings. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Glaser does not use batting gloves, and I've never seen him use batting gloves. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to him. Long look in for the sign from Weidemann. Now Kirchhoff has one he likes and comes set. The pitch on the way. Curve is way inside, a big sweeping breaking ball, and Weidemann had to go get it. 2-2 now. Sean Larry is on deck. 5-4 Heidenheim. Bottom of the fourth. Kirchhoff is set and the pitch. A pop-up off the hands, and it's on the infield. Zamite Preuss has a play and makes it to end the frame. And Kirchhoff, a second scoreless inning on the books. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the 5th inning here in Heidenheim. This is the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Heidenheim 5, Solingen 4. Welcome back to the top of the 5th inning. My name is Tim Collins, along with Joshua Elgart running the camera. Glad you're with us here on a sunny Saturday afternoon, September the 8th, 2018, for Game 1 of a best-of-5 between the Solingen Alligators and the Heidenheim Heideköpfe. Clayton Freimuth back to work, and the first pitch of the 5th inning is low for ball 1 to Wilson Lee. Lee, the number 3 hitter, followed by Lars Anderson and Ben Andrews. Lee is 2 for 2. He has scored a run, 2 singles. And this ball hit on the ground towards the shortstop. Philip Schultz to his left grabs a short hop and lobs across. 1 down. Nice play by Schultz. That ball was hit with a lot of top spin, and he got a short hop maybe a couple inches right in front of his glove and very calmly snagged it and had plenty of time to throw out Wilson Lee. So a couple of pitches, and there's 1 away here in the 5th. Clayton Freimuth, by the way, is now at 67 pitches. He's allowed 8 hits, 4 runs, 5 strikeouts. He's not walked a batter. And now Lars Anderson will step up to the plate. Anderson reached on a fielder's choice and then scored. And then he grounded out, 0 for 2. The pitch outside. Anderson, a left-hand hitter. There's the 1-0. And a breaking ball. That one is off the plate outside. 2 balls and no strikes. The ball's dropped by Goering. Anderson has an open stance. And the 2-0. This ball is cracked to right field. Larry on the run. He will not get there. He picks it up on a short hop and fires it back in. And that's a good play to hold Lars Anderson to a single. That ball, I think, had a lot of top spin, and when it hit the grass, instead of skipping forward, it kind of died a little bit. And that's a 1-out single for Lars Anderson. Hit very hard, however. And so now Ben Andrews, who's been the entirety of the offense for the Alligators in this game. He has 2 hits and 4 runs batted in, accounting for all 4 runs that the Alligators have on the scoreboard. It is 5-4. They have 9 hits off of Clayton Freimuth, but only 4 runs, whereas the Heideköpfe have 5 hits and 5 runs. The Heideköpfe have received 6 walks and hit batter as well. Freimuth has not walked anyone. The pitch is low, ball 1 to Ben Andrews. Andrews tripled to deep right center field his first time, and then he singled to drive home 2. That was a big hit. It came with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. In fact, that entire rally was with 2 outs. There's the 1-0. That's a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Check that. That rally came with 1 out, 2 1-out singles, and then after Lars Anderson grounded out, then Ben Andrews drove home 2. But either way, a clutch hit for Mr. Andrews. Anderson on first base, and the pitch. Shot foul off to the right. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Anderson, in case you're wondering about stolen bases, only 2 stolen base attempts this year. He was 1 for 2. Although you wonder if the Alligators are aware of Simon Göring's shoulder issue. Göring was unable to throw at all the last couple of weeks of the year. Maybe he's feeling better. Who knows? Here's the 1-2. Pitch on the way to Ben Andrews, and there's a check on Anderson instead. It is 5-4 Heidenheim. We're in the 5th inning. There's 1 out. Lars Anderson on first base. Ben Andrews at the plate. And Freimuth's pitch is a good curve, and Andrews is looking for something else. And that is strike 3. Completely froze Ben Andrews, and he knew it. Turned and walked to the dugout. Right to the mitt. And so there are 2 down. That is the 6th strikeout for Clayton Freimuth. And he's able to retire Ben Andrews for the first time. Now Dustin Hughes will step up to the plate. Hughes, 0 for 2. He struck out looking and bounced into a fielder's choice his next time rather. 2 outs, Anderson on first base. And the pitch is fouled away off to the right, out of the ballpark. Strike 1 on Hughes. Hughes has power. He hit 5 home runs this year. Freimuth trying to give Klaus Eckle some depth in this ball game, trying to get through the 5th. Curveball hit on the ground, left side, past the diving Pesci, into left field for a base hit. Anderson stops at second base. And so, 2 more base runners for the Alligators. They have 2 on and 2 out, and now Marcus Stritzek will come to the plate. That is the first base hit for Dustin Hughes in the game. Take a look at the replay. It was that breaking ball, and he waited on it and grounded it past the outstretched glove of Jay Pesci, ranging to his glove side. Couldn't quite get down in time. And so now Marcus Stritzek with a chance to tie the game. Tying run and go-ahead runs are on base. Anderson is the tying run. He's at second base in scoring position. Stritzek, however, has popped out and struck out. And Freimuth's pitch hit off the end of the bat on the ground. Base hit into right field. Around third, Anderson. Larry comes up throwing. The throw is not in time. We are tied at 5 on a ground ball that had eyes and snuck through the infield. Boy, that was a cue shot. It had funny spin, and it was placed perfectly. Take a look at this on the replay. Fastball away and past the diving Ludwig Glaser into short right field. Larry has a good arm in his throw. He just couldn't charge quickly enough to get to the ball. The ball nearly stopped before it got to him in right field, and that allowed Anderson all the time in the world to come around and score, and we got a tie ball game. So we've seen some hard hit balls and we've seen some not so hard hit balls, and that one was perfectly placed. Dustin Hughes gets an RBI, and Marcus Stritzek gets the RBI. First and second. And the hitter now is Johannes Weidemann, and he slices one into right field. Larry coming on, he can't get it, base hit. And Larry, who was basically about 10 feet from the infield, was ready to fire home, and Waino wisely holding the runner at third base. So the bases are now loaded. Hughes at third, Stritzek at second, and Weidemann with a single. At first base, not hit very hard, but placed perfectly. 4 hits in the inning, and Klaus Eckle out to the mound to have a chat with his pitcher, Clayton Freimuth. There's no activity in the bullpen right now for the Heideköpfe. And so it's going to be Freimuth for at least for the immediate future. Bases loaded. You have the number 9 hitter, Linus Hartmann. And you got to give the Solingen Alligator credit. The bottom part of their order, the first 2 times through the lineup, they looked completely overmatched. And the next time around, they have made adjustments against Clayton Freimuth. Stritzek popped out and struck out, and then he slices that little ground ball base hit. Weidemann had grounded out and struck out, and then he flares one. And now Linus Hartmann, who struck out weakly his first time, and lined a solid single his last time, up with the bases loaded. Hughes, Stritzek, and Weidemann the base runners. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike one. Now the Alligators are going to have to get production from the bottom of their lineup if they're going to try to out-hit the Heideköpfe, at least in terms of power. They have out-hit the Heideköpfe. They have 12 hits in the game. Heideköpfe with only 5. And the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. Freimuth staying away from Linus Hartmann, trying to strand the bases loaded. We're tied at 5 here in the 5th. Hughes at third, Stritzek at second, Weidemann at first. 0-2 on Linus Hartmann, the number 9 hitter. And the pitch on the way. Half swing and he fouled it off and stays alive. Still 0-2. Well, the inning started with a ground out, then Lars Anderson singled. Ben Andrews struck out, and then 3 consecutive bloop singles off the bat of Hughes, Stritzek, and Weidemann. Stritzek tied the ball game. 0-2 on Linus Hartmann. Here it comes. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the inning's over. But another eventful one it was for the Heidenheim Heideköpfe. Clayton Freimuth walking away, having allowed a run on 4 hits. There were no errors and 3 left on base. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning here in Heidenheim, tied at 5. This is game 1 of the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Welcome back to the bottom of the 5th inning. We are tied at 5 here in Heidenheim between the Heideköpfe and the Solingen Alligators. Lukas Kirchhoff will begin his 3rd inning of work, and he will deal with Sean Larry, Johannes Krumm, and Philip Schultz. If you're wondering, Kirchhoff's longest outing of the year was 7 1/3 innings versus the Bonn Capitals, and the first pitch is a strike. But outside of that, he only had one other outing where he went 4 innings. That was last Saturday against the Doran Wild Farmers. But he's pitched so well so far today. 0-1 to Sean Larry. Curveball, a big chopper to the right side. That's a foul ball. 0-2. Larry was the first man Kirchhoff faced in the game. And Larry struck out against him. Oh and 2. And the pitch. Up and in. Larry has to straighten up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kerhoff in 16 and 2/3 innings. I told you he gave up 16 hits, 7 earned runs. Only twice did he pitch more than 2 innings all year. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Larry hits a hard ground ball to the right side past the diving Solingen into right field, a base hit for Sean Larry, and that's how the 5th inning begins for the Heideköpfe. That's the 6th base hit for the Heidenheimers. And Larry is on first base with a single. And that will bring up Johannes Krumm. Krumm has grounded to third base twice in this game. Krumm, right-hand hitter. He's a DH today. He hasn't pitched a whole lot for the Heideköpfe this year. And a throw to first base, and Larry barely off the bag. Larry does have good speed, but this year he has toned down the stolen base attempts significantly. Only 2 out of 3. Very short lead, and again, throw over. Kerhoff with a little smile as Larry was not more than about 2 feet off the first base bag, being held on by Justin Hughes. There's nobody out. The corner infield is in, and Krumm squared to bunt, and the pitch was outside for a ball. Now Ben Andrews, the third baseman, is expecting bunt. He's playing at the edge of the grass. Sanchez is deep at short, and Zamet Torres, the second baseman, is in the middle of the dirt between the grass on both sides, the outfield and infield. Krumm does have occasional power, and now he steps out. 5-5 the score. And the pitch is a strike on the outside corner at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. Krumm looking down for the signs from Klaus Eckle. Larry on first base. One and 1. Kerhoff comes set. Here it comes. And Krumm pushes the bunt foul at the first baseline. Gonna count 1 and 2. Solingen scored 2 runs in the first, 2 in the third, and 1 more in the 5th to tie the game. Heidenheim got their 5 runs in the first 2 innings, 3 in the first and 2 in the second. Since then, Lucas Kerhoff has shut them down. And the pitch is bounced back to Kerhoff. He snags it, goes to second, 1. The throw is in time to get the force there. Sanchez had to go way to the left field side of second. Well, he was hoping for the double play and had probably a chance for one, but the throw was offline, and Sanchez had to maintain concentration just to get the 1 out. It was a good play by Kerhoff to snag the comebacker, however. And so 1 down. Krumm replaces Larry at first. 1-6 on the putout. And so Philip Schultz will step up to the plate. Schultz, the switch hitter, he is 0 for 1 with a walk. Johannes Krumm on first base, 0 for 1 in stolen bases. He is not a threat to go, and Kerhoff throws over anyway. The pitch on the way, and it's high, ball 1. 1-0 on the switch hitting Philip Schultz. With 1 out now, you're not going to see the bunt, unless Schultz is bunting for a hit, which he does do with some frequency. He's a very good bunter. Andrews is still playing close to the grass at third. The next pitch is low, ball 2. Now Giovanni Tenson started for the Alligators and was knocked around, gave up 5 runs in 2 innings. Walked 5. So far, Lucas Kerhoff is not allowed a run and throw to first base, and Krumm is back again. Philip Schultz was not squaring when Kerhoff threw over there that time. 2-0, and the pitch. That's low, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Top of the order is on deck. Sasha Lutz is lurking over there as the sun comes out a little bit brighter here in Heidenheim. 5-5 ball game, bottom of the 5th. 3-0 on Philip Schultz. He'll be taking, here it is. And it's a strike, 3-1. Meanwhile in Regensburg leading Bonn by a score of 5-1. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That one hits him. So Philip Schultz is hit by the pitch and he will go to first. That pushes Krumm to second. And now the top of the order, Sascha Lutz will step up to the plate. And Wayne O's coming out of the dugout to have a chat with his pitcher, Lucas Kirchhoff. Kirchhoff, I mentioned, his last appearance was September 1st, last Saturday. He pitched 4 innings against Doran, gave up only 2 hits. He was very good, 2 walks and 5 strikeouts, no runs. And before that, he pitched against the Bonn Capitals, 2 in the 3rd innings, gave up 3 walks and 2 runs in that game, only 2 hits. Now before that, he had only pitched 3 times, in fact, since the beginning of August. So he hasn't really been in there very much. 7 in the 3rd innings, however, against the Bonn Capitals. Only 7 hits, 6 walks in that game. But, you know, a young pitcher who's been sort of thrown into the fire, and Wayne O returns to the dugout, and Sascha Lutz steps up to the plate with 2 on and 1 out. Krumm at second, Schultz at first. Fans ready to rock here in Heidenheim. Lefty against lefty, the pitch on the way. And Lutz showing bunt, and the pitch is outside, ball 1. That time Andrews was back. And now he is going to play at the edge of the grass. Anyway, Lutz would be bunting for a hit in this situation. Two on, 1 out, the pitch on the way. Outside, ball 2, 2-0. Lutz, by the way, has walked twice and been hit by a pitch. He's scored 2 runs. Kirchhoff, a long look in. Now he has a sign from Weidemann that he likes and comes set. The 2-0. And he threw him a curve, and it's in for a strike. That is a good pitch from a young pitcher to a veteran hitter. Kirchhoff against Lutz, 2-1. Here it comes. And it's a ball. The ball gets away from the catcher, not far enough for any advance. 3 balls and a strike on Sascha Lutz, and Kirchhoff now is starting to work himself into a corner. Double play is in order, although the next 2 hitters are tough guys to double up, Pecci and Lutz. Johannes Krumm at second, Philip Schultz at first. Schultz the trail runner with better speed. 3 balls and 1 strike to count. Lucas Kirchhoff stepped off for a moment. The scoreboard count was incorrect. That's why Dan DiBacco once again giving a 3-1 count. Kirchhoff is set. The pitch to Lutz. Outside, ball 4. The bases are loaded. Now 2 walks in the inning. Plus a hit batter in the ball game, and the Heideköpfe have been given a huge number of extra base runners in this ball game. The bases are loaded with 1 out. Jay Pecci, a switch hitter, an excellent contact hitter coming to the plate. You have Krumm at third, Schultz at second, Lutz at first. Pecci, a guy who struck out a grand total of 2 times all year. The downside is that he might hit into double plays. That's what the Alligators are hoping for. Kirchhoff, with the bases loaded, 1 out, tied at 5. The pitch, and he throws a curveball, strike 1. Good pitch from Lucas Kirchhoff. Kirchhoff with 3 walks and a hit batter, 2 hit batters rather. 2 walks and 2 hit batters. 0-1 on Jay Pecci. The pitch. A line shot caught by the shortstop. Sanchez throw to second base, double play, and the inning is over. As Philip Schultz, a base running mistake, he ran the wrong direction and he's doubled off. And the Alligators escape the inning without a run scoring. How about that? Let's watch this on the replay. Pecci hit a little humpback line drive. And you see Schultz running the wrong way, and Zamite Preuss a good job to get over there and cover. Daniel Sanchez the quick flip, and the inning is over. So, exciting playoff baseball. We go to the 6th inning here in Heidenheim. We are tied at 5. This is the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. To the top of the 6th inning here in Heidenheim, tied at 5, and this ball game already shaping out to be an exciting one. Clayton Freimuth back on the hill for the Heideköpfe, and the first man he will face, top of the order, Lars Zamite Preuss, and the pitch is low and outside, ball 1. Zamite Preuss is 1 for 3. He singled his last time. That was in the 4th inning. And he lines one through the middle, base hit. Boy, that one nearly hitting Freimuth on the way by. That ball was well struck. Lars Zamite Preuss, a good start for the Solingen half of the 6th inning. Right over the head of Clayton Freimuth. And so, Daniel Sanchez will come up to the plate now, with Zamite Preuss on first base. Lars Zamite Preuss is one of the guys that will do a lot of running for the Alligators. He is 14 for 18, and he's got a very big lead over there. Left-hander Freimuth with a quick move. The pitch is shot to deep right field, but it's going to go foul, and it lands on top of the batting cage. Daniel Sanchez with good power to the opposite field. Looking down at the signs from Wayno. Now the Alligators escaping the 5th inning thanks to that line drive double play off the bat of Jay Pecci. Quickly turned by Sanchez. There's a throw over to first, and Zamite Preuss is back easily. One strike on Daniel Sanchez. We're tied at 5, top of the 6th inning. Sanchez, a right-hand hitter. The pitch, curve, and that is in there for strike 2. Sanchez is a veteran of European baseball. He's played in Italy. He's played in Sant Boi in Spain. Native of Venezuela with a Spanish passport. 0-2 the count to him. And a quick throw over. That was Freimuth's step off and whip it move. And Zamite Preuss diving back. Now Lucas Kirchhoff for the Alligators has held the Heideköpfe offense in check. Here's the pitch, high and outside. Goering was ready to throw behind Zamite Preuss should he need to. 1-2 the count. There you see Ludwig Glaser holding on Lars Zamite Preuss. Freimuth is set, and the pitch. Curveball tapped foul. Still 1-2. Freimuth sometimes uses a slide step, and he's very quick to the plate, and that's what he did that time. Zamite Preuss so far has not been able to get a great jump on Clayton. Sanchez with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Sanchez struck out 23 times in nearly 200 plate appearances. There's another throw over to first base. Zamit Price has shortened his lead. Heidenheim 5, Solingen 5. Top of the 6th inning of game 1. 1-2, and the pitch coming right now. Fastball got him, looking right on the outside corner. That's paint from Clayton Freimuth. That's the first out. Take a look at this one on the replay. See Goering set up out on the outer part. And Freimuth, Goering doesn't have to move the glove, and Sanchez knew it and turns and walks away. That is strikeout number 8 for Clayton Freimuth. And now Wilson Lee. We're in the fat part of the order for the Alligators. Wilson Lee, the native Australian, right-hand hitter with power. And there goes the runner. They got him picked. The throw to second base is in time. As Zamit Price, after all the holds and the moves of Clayton Freimuth, he decided to go on first move, and he picked the wrong one to go on as Freimuth went over there. Zamit Price thrown out 1-3-6, and that's the second out of the inning. Perfectly executed. So 2 down. And Wilson Lee will bat now with nobody on. Curveball, and that is high. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Lee today has singled twice and grounded to short. 2 for 3. He scored a run. Freimuth's 1-0 pitch to him is low and outside, but that's all the more costly from the Alligators' side. Trying to get that runner into scoring position for your number 3 hitter, but instead now you took away a base runner for him. 2-0, 2 outs, nobody on. And that pitch is in for a strike. A fastball inside part, looked like Lee was taking all the way. There's the pitch. Drilled to deep right field. Larry going back. It's over his head, and it is off the top of the wall. Larry gets it back in very quickly. The throw to second base, not in time. It's a double, very high off the top of the right field wall for Wilson Lee. And now that caught stealing looks even more costly for the Solingen Alligators. He got a pitch away and hit it deep. Larry, who was playing shallow, just turned and watched it go off the advertising in right field. And Lee sliding in easily with a 2-out double. And that will bring up Lars Anderson. Anderson has singled in 3 trips. He also reached on a fielder's choice. Well, Lars Anderson scored the game's tying run when he came around on the 2-out single to Marcus Stritzek. Lefty against lefty, and the pitch to Anderson. Curve, and that is in there at the top of the zone for strike 1. Anderson, who hit 2 home runs during the course of the season, had 3 once the playoff round began. So he got hot, I guess you could say. The 0-1 fastball, strike called over the outside corner. That was one of Freimuth's better fastballs, velocity-wise. He really pounded the zone there. Looked like he reached back a little extra for that. Freimuth is at 93 pitches now. 0-2 on Lars Anderson, the cleanup hitter. Wilson Lee at second base. There are 2 outs. We're tied at 5 in the 6th. The pitch. That's down and away with a fastball, maybe a little slider. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tied at 5 in the top of the 6th. 1-2 to Lars Anderson. Freimuth's pitch. And the curve is low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Solingen has had base runners in every inning except for the 2nd. This has not been a walk in the park for Clayton Freimuth. He's allowed 14 hits The 2-2. Big swing, and it's fouled off to the left. Boy, Anderson had a good cut at a fastball, and he fouled it off to the third base side.
2-2 die Zählung hier für Lars Anderson.
Still 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Wilson Lee on second base, tied at 5, top of the 6th inning of game 1. Clayton Freimuth working from the stretch, still looking for the sign from Goering. He's got one he likes. Comes set, and the pitch. Curveball, tapped foul. Anderson stays alive.
Come on, lift your hands.
Solingen immediately put pressure on Heidenheim in the beginning of this game. Ben Andrews driving in 2 runs in the first inning with a triple. Simon Goering a 3-run double in the bottom half for the Heideköpfe to give the Heideköpfe the lead, and then they made it 5-2 in the bottom of the second, but Solingen didn't wait around. In the top of the third, they made it 5-4. A 2-run single off the bat of Ben Andrews again. And then Marcus Stritzek with a little bloop RBI single with 2 outs in the 5th to tie the game, and that's where we currently are. Tied at 5 in the 6th with 2 outs, and Anderson, after that long delay, asks for more time. It was a delay because we had to get some more baseballs, I believe, out of the dugout. Wilson Lee is on second base. He doubled deep off the wall in right field. 2-2. Freimuth deals. Fouled away, and that was one of the best swings that Anderson has had in this at-bat. That one went directly back to the screen, and he had a healthy cut. It was up and out over the plate. Lefty or no, that was a hittable pitch, and Freimuth was challenging him. We'll do it again, 2-2, here it comes. Breaking ball is in the dirt, taken down and away for ball 3, and this is a tough at bat now for Anderson. He's fouled off 3 pitches and worked it full. Wilson Lee on second base. He's got good speed. With 2 outs, he'd be going at the crack of the bat. I would bet they'll send him. The best arms in the outfield are Owens and Larry. So here's the payoff pitch. It is hit high in the air to shallow center field. Owens racing in. He's under it, and he's got it for the 3rd out. Anderson just missed it and flies out to shallow center field to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. A very, very important caught stealing for the Heidenheim Heideköpfe to cut down the runner stealing second base before the double, and we will go to the bottom of the 6th inning, still tied at 5 between Heidenheim and Solingen. This is the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Welcome back to the bottom of the 6th inning, tied at 5 here in Game 1 of the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal. My name is Tim Collins, along with Josh Elgart running the camera. Hope you're enjoying the ballgame wherever you may be. Gary Owens steps up and takes a strike on the outside corner from the young 19-year-old right-hander Lucas Kirchhoff. This is Kirchhoff's 4th inning, and that was his 61st pitch. And he's going to face the middle of the order, 3, 4, and 5. And the curve is low. He has not given up a run so far. He's allowed only 2 hits. He's walked 2 and struck out 1. He's also hit 2. The Heideköpfe only 6 hits in the ball game. The pitch is outside. 5 runs on 6 hits for the Heideköpfe, 5 runs on 14 hits for the Alligators. The Alligators have had many more opportunities. They have stranded base runners in every inning except for the second. The 2-1 missed outside, ball 3 to Gary Owens. Not by much, but the young right-hander who came on in the 3rd inning in relief of Giovanni Tenson has been impressive so far. The 3-1 swing and a foul tap. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Owens today has walked and scored, driven in a run with a sac fly and grounded out, so he's officially 0 for 1. Simon Göring has all 4 of the other runs batted in for the Heideköpfe. He will be up 3rd. Mitch Nilsson is next. The 3-2 pitch. Line shot up the middle, base hit past the shortstop Daniel Sanchez. That ball skipping very quickly through. Owens a big turn and will hold on. So the Heideköpfe, for the 2nd consecutive inning, have a leadoff base runner. That ball was smoked past the mound, and Daniel Sanchez barely had time to go 1 or 2 steps to his left. The ball was already by him into the outfield. So now Mitch Nilsson will step up to the plate. Nilsson today is 0 for 2. He walked and flied out twice. Switch hitter batting from the right side. Owens is going. The first pitch is outside. Weidman's throw is not in time. Owens steals second base easily. Gary had been 11 for 15. And he is now 12 for 16. First pitch was a ball as Johannes Weidemann threw from his knees. Owens had a great jump. He went on first move, and Kirchhoff did not throw over. So right away, the go-ahead run is in scoring position for Mitch Nilsson. The 1-0 pitch coming from Kirchhoff. That's inside, way inside. Weidemann has to reach far to his left to snag it. 2 balls and no strikes. Solingen 5, Heidenheim 5. We're in the 6th. Not a bad opening act to the playoff season here in Germany. The 2-0 pitch on the way to Nilsson. Coming right now. And he hits the glove on the outside corner, does Kirchhoff, strike 1. Kirchhoff showing excellent poise. He took 2 looks back at the runner, Gary Owens at second base, then calmly fired a strike right to the mitt to a dangerous hitter in a hitter's count. 2-1, he comes set. And here it is. And it's high, 3 balls and a strike. The most pitches Kirchhoff threw in a ball game is 133. But other than that, he has not thrown more than 63 in any of his other appearances. Well, we're in the 6th inning. You figure there's probably no way he's going to finish the game. But if he keeps pitching like this, might let him go. Here's the 3-1. Up high, ball 4. The first 2 are on here for Heidenheim. And Simon Göring will come to the plate with runners on first and second. And nobody out. Göring with 4 runs batted in already in the game. He's 3 for 3 with a double and 2 singles. And there is some activity, looks like, going to begin in the Solingen bullpen. Johannes Weidemann goes out to the mound to have a chat with the young pitcher Kirchhoff. Niels Hartkopf is going to start throwing in the bullpen for the Alligators. Hartkopf hadn't pitched for a few years, and then this year he's back at it. There you see Niels warming up in the bullpen. Former Haar disciple, former national teamer. And if I remember correctly, Niels Hartkopf threw a no-hitter in the playoffs a long time ago, 7-8 years ago. He would be the next man to come in if Kirchhoff falters, and it's not an easy task for the 19-year-old Lucas Kirchhoff. He's pitched three scoreless innings so far, but the first two on here, and Simon Göring at the plate. Nobody out. Will they bunt? And boy, Owens had started to run and then slammed on the brakes, and Kirchhoff stepped off as Daniel Sanchez started to go in behind him at second base. Ben Andrews, the third baseman, was in, but that time as Owens was taken off, Göring did not show signs of bunt. After Göring, you have Ludwig Glaser, but you might see a bunt here, you never know. And the pitch is taken low, ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. Göring looks down for the signs from Klaus Eckle. Removed his helmet and brushed the sweat away from his forehead with his forearm. 1-0 on Simon Göring. Right-hand hitter with power. He's already 3 for 3 today. And Kirchhoff from the stretch. And there's a whole lot of dancing going around between Gary Owens and the second baseman Lars Zametpreuss. First one would dart in, the other would dart away. And then Kirchhoff, trying to maintain concentration, just stepped off, and that's the wise thing to do. If you're the pitcher in that situation, you don't want to flinch, because that would be a balk. Owens and Nilsson, the base runners, with nobody out, the 1-0. A high drive, deep center field, way back goes the center fielder Hartmann. He's under it, makes the catch. And tagging and going to third base is Gary Owens. Mitch Nilsson has to stay put. Simon Göring flies out to deep right center field. And that will put runners on first and third for Ludwig Glaser. Göring just got under that one. And so he is now 3 for 4. Ludwig Glaser steps up to the plate, and Wayne O is going to come out to the mound. And I think this is going to be a pitching change, as the right-hander Nils Hartkopf is ready in the bullpen, and Wayne O shaking hands with Lucas Kirchhoff. And why not? Because Kirchhoff really a very good job coming in a tough situation, and he's getting an ovation from his teammates and the Solingen fans as he leaves the ball game, and he will be replaced by Nils Hartkopf. We will take a short break. We're still tied at 5. There's 1 out, runners on first and third here in the bottom of the 6th inning. This is the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. The right-hander Nils Hartkopf takes over for the Solingen Alligators. He is 29 years of age. Excuse me, no, he's not. He's 32 years of age. Looking at my old notes. He's been with the Solingen Alligators since 2006. He spent a couple of years in between with the Mainz Athletics and also the Hard Disciples, and then has been back in an Alligators uniform for the last several years. And this year he was one of the stalwarts on the mound. He pitched 65 in the 3rd innings. and had an ERA of 3.44. And Wayne O putting him in there now because the Alligators have a chance to win this ball game. You figure, well, Wilson Lee is going to pitch tomorrow, and they also have Valentin Rumor that could pitch. Giovanni Tenson came out after 57 pitches today, so Kirchhoff's day is done. He goes 3 1/3, and he's responsible for the 2 runners on base right now. So Heideköpfe is going to try to induce a ground ball double play, and Ludwig Glaser is a guy who does hit into double plays. He doesn't run very well anymore at this point in his career. And so the Alligators would love to get a grounder. 1st and 3rd, Mitch Nilsson is the runner on 1st. Gary Owens is on 3rd. The right-hander Heideköpfe deals to Ludwig Glaser. And instead a throw over, and Nilsson is back. Boy, close play. Woo! That one draws a response from the Solingen fans. See if we can take a look at that on the replay. Nilsson was maybe caught leaning a little bit, but he just got the hand back in there. Close. Heideköpfe is set. And the pitch. Strike on the outside corner at the knees. Ludwig Glaser today is 0 for 3. Nilsson, by the way, 5 out of 6 in stolen bases. There's 1 out in the inning. Let's see what Klaus Eckle does if he elects to send Nilsson, and Nilsson took off, and Heideköpfe steps off, and Nilsson goes back. And Nilsson is getting antsy over there on the first base side. You might see that 1st and 3rd where Nilsson goes halfway and stops. Let's see, 0-1, and a throw over. Nilsson dives back again. Now Heideköpfe is no spring chicken. He knows what's going on. He's communicating once again with Dustin Hughes. They want to get together and make sure that he keeps an eye on Gary Owens at 3rd. 1st and 3rd, 1 out. We are tied at 5 in the bottom of the 6th inning. This ball game, the tension rising as we work our way through. There's the 0-1 pitch from Niels Heideköpfe, and it is low. 1 ball and 1 strike on Ludwig Glaser. Inning started with Gary Owens singling, then a walk to Nilsson. Goering flat out. The pitch is a line drive center field coming on Hartmann. It lands in front of him, a base hit, and it goes past him all the way to the wall. Owens is going to score. Nilsson is going to score. Ludwig Glaser stops at second base. It is 7-5 Heidenheim. That will be a single, 1 run batted in, and then the second run Nilsson is going to score on the error. And that'll be an E8. As it was a base hit, it dropped in front of the center fielder Linus Hartmann. He charged and charged, and the ball went past him to his gloved side, and he had to go and pick it up on the warning track. So Ludwig Glaser singles and then reaches second on the error. It is 7-5 Heidenheim. And that's the first error of the ball game. And time is called, and they're going to intentionally walk Sean Larry. So Sean Larry will go to first base, and that will set up the double play for Johannes Krum. So Krum stepping up to the plate with 2 on and still only 1 out. It is now 7-5 Heidenheim. Krum today is 0 for 3. And Heideköpfe from the stretch. And the pitch. There go the runners. It's low and no chance for a throw. The ball was in the dirt, and the double steal puts runners on second and third. Klaus Eckle is trying to step on the necks of the Solingen Alligators here in the 6th inning. No hesitation. The pitch was down in the dirt. There was nothing Weidemann could do about it. He had to drop to his knees to block the pitch. And so now, Glaser at third and Larry at second. The infield has to come in for the Alligators. 1-0 on Johannes Krum. The pitch. That's low, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Well, the fans will tell you what's going on. 2-0 on Johannes Krum. The pitch inside and high, ball 3. The number 9 hitter Philip Schultz is on deck. If you walk Krum, then at least the middle infielders could back up and play for a double play. Johannes will be taking here 3-0. Second and third, one out. The pitch from Heideköpfe. Strike on the outside corner, 3-1. Andrews at third. Sanchez, the shortstop. Zamite Price, the second baseman, and Dustin Hughes, the first baseman. They're all playing in, of course. Outfield deep and straight away for Krum. 3-1. The pitch. And he pops it foul out of play on that strike 2. Full count now. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners on second and third. 7-5 Heidenheim. They've broken through here in the bottom of the 6th. And Heideköpfe deals way outside. Ball 4. The bases are loaded again. That's the third walk in the inning, one of which was intentional. There have been 2 hits in the inning. And Philip Schultz, who's walked twice himself, is going to step up to the plate with the bases loaded. And he has a quick chat with Klaus Eckle. Bases loaded. Now the middle infielders will indeed back up and look for a double play. There's 1 out. The runner at third is Ludwig Glauser. The runner at second base is Sean Larry. At first, Johannes Krum. He walked. And Philip Schultz turns around to bat left-handed again. And the pitch on the way. That's a strike at the knees in the inside corner. The Heideköpfe have not gone 1-2-3 in this entire ballgame. In fact, they've sent a minimum of 4 batters to the plate in every inning. They have had base runners all over the place. They only have 8 hits, though. They've drawn a lot of walks. 2 hit batters as well. 0-1 on Schultz. Curveball hit on the ground to the second baseman, Zamite Price. He flips to Sanchez. There's one. Relay throw to first. In time. And that is a 4-6-3 double play to end the inning. Ball was not hit all that hard, but it was turned very quickly by Zamite Price and Sanchez. And the throw to first base just beat Philip Schultz, and the inning is over. But Heidenheim scores 2 runs with 2 hits. There was 1 very costly error and 2 left on base. We go to the 7th inning. It is the Heideköpfe 7, the Solingen Alligators 5. This is the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Welcome back to the top of the 7th inning. We enter the final third of this game, and Heidenheim took the lead with 2 runs last half inning. They lead 7-5. This is game 1 of the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal. And the new pitcher for the Heidenheim Heideköpfe, the right-hander Logan Grigsby. Grigsby is going to come on and try to hold things down, probably to close the ball game. In 59 2/3 innings this year, he had an ERA just over 4, 59 strikeouts, 55 walks, 17 hit batters. So he's been sometimes he's been inconsistent, I guess. When he's on, he's great. And the first man he faces is no easy task, Ben Andrews. And the first pitch is outside for a ball. 5, 6, and 7 in the order for the Solingen Alligators. Andrews, Dustin Hughes, and Marcus Stritzek. Andrews is 2 for 3 with a triple, a single, and 4 runs batted in. And the pitch from Grigsby is high. 2 balls and no strikes. Logan Grigsby on the hill, works from the first base side. Here's the 2-0. Popped foul behind us, out of play. 2 balls, 1 strike. Grigsby, 22 years of age. He went to Grace College in Indiana. He's got a lot of family here in Germany. Of course, he's got the dual citizenship. And in 2017, he led his college staff in strikeouts. Works from the first base side of the mound. He's got the high sock look going. 2 balls and a strike on Andrews. And this ball is popped up to the right side. Nilsson can't find it. Larry running in behind him in shallow right. He makes the catch. 1 away. And that will bring up Dustin Hughes. Hughes is 1 for 3. He singled in the 5th inning. That preceded Marcus Stritzek's base hit, which tied the game. Hughes with power. Heidenheim 7, Solingen 5. Heidenheim 7 runs on 8 hits, but they've received 10 walks and 2 hit batters. Solingen 5 runs on 14 hits, but they have not received a single walk. And the fastball is a strike at the letters from Grigsby. Clayton Freimuth went 6 strong innings. He had to really battle, but he gave Klaus Eckler what he needed, and that is a quality start, I guess. Well, not by the actual definition, but breaking ball is low and outside, 1-1. He gave Eckler length and a chance to win the game, and finally the Heideköpfe able to break the tie last half inning, and now Grigsby is on to try to hold things where they are. Alligators are going to try to keep battling back. 1 ball, 1 strike on Hughes. And the pitch. Fastball paints the outside corner, 1-2. The pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. He threw it right by him. Strike 3. Grigsby looking good so far in his first 2 batters. Told you he's sort of a little bit Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde when he doesn't get his fastball over the plate, but that one was right there, and he blew it right past Dustin Hughes. So 2 down, nobody on for Marcus Stritzek. Stritzek is 1 for 3. His base hit his last time, little seeing eye ground ball. That tied the game. He swings and fouls it to the screen. 0-1 on Marcus. Marcus, where's the number 33? During the regular year, batted .247, had a couple home runs. And the 0-1 from Grigsby. Swing and a miss, an off-speed pitch down and away. Stritzek way too early, and the count 0-2. Grigsby looking sharp so far here in his first inning of work. And he's working quickly. The 0-2. Fastball is high. Went up the ladder on Stritzek. Stritzek did not expand the zone. Outfield straight away and deep for Marcus, respecting his power. Infield deep. 2 down, nobody on. 1-2. Here's the pitch. Curveball waved at and missed. And it's dug out by Simon Göring to end the inning. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Logan Grigsby. Nothing across the board for the Solingen Alligators. And it is time to stretch here in Heidenheim. Solingen and Heidenheim in the first game of this 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal, and Heidenheim leads 7-5. This is, well, it's the semifinal presented by MSD. Welcome back to noisy Heidenheim. It's the bottom of the 7th inning. Heidenheim 7, Solingen 5. And Sascha Lutz, the first man, the top of the order, will face Niels Hartkopf. Hartkopf got the last 2 outs last inning. And the first pitch on the way to Sascha, coming right now. Inside, it goes to the screen. 1 ball, no strikes. A cacophony of sound here in Heidenheim. There's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Sascha was looking for something to drive on that one. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count to him. Heidenheim scoring 2 runs last inning to break the 5-5 tie. The big hit was an RBI single off the bat of Ludwig Glaser. This ground ball is pulled down the first base line. It is foul, just barely. Ludwig Glaser singled, and then the center fielder Linus Hartmann misplayed it, and it went behind him for an error that allowed the second run to score. Now, according to Game Changer, they have given both runs as earned, but after that play, there was a walk and another walk. And then a ground ball double play. I'm not sure that second run should be earned. Whatever, that's just bookkeeping anyway. 1-2 the count on Sascha Lutz. And the pitch inside, and he has to skip rope a little bit. 2-2 now. Hartkopf, the third Alligators pitcher on the mound. Here's the 2-2. Sascha swings and misses and strikes out. Good fastball away. And down he goes. That's the first out here in the bottom of the 7th. Taking a look at the pitch. Hartkopf very relaxed, threw him a fastball tailing away, and Lutz just swung right through it. And that'll bring up Gary Owens. Excuse me, that's Jay Pecci. And the curveball is high. Pecci turns around to bat left-handed again. He batted lefty his first 2 times against Giovanni Tenson and singled twice that way. Then he batted righty and grounded out against the left-hander Lucas Kirchhoff. That pitch is inside and off the glove. 2 balls, no strikes. Hope you're enjoying your day wherever you may be, whether you're on the road watching on YouTube or listening on meinsportradio.de. Thank you very much. It's been a good ball game. 7-5 Heidenheim leading Solingen. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. And Hartkopf deals 2-0 to Jay Pecci. And that's outside and low, 3 balls and no strikes. The one thing you can always count on between these two teams is a lot of noise. Solingen fans, they bring an assortment of drums and trumpets, and the Heidenheim fans have their customary rattles and shakers. The pitch is on the outside corner. 3 balls and 1 strike. Thanks on Tweak Coffee for the nice comment in the YouTube group. The pitch is upstairs, ball 4. Jay Pecci is aboard. He's been on base 3 times today. He's on with a 1-out walk. Vielen Dank, dass es dir den Kommentar und auch das Bild gefällt. Vielleicht werde ich einmal ein ganzes Spiel allein auf Deutsch kommentieren, aber heute nicht. Tut mir leid. Ich habe nicht genug Selbstvertrauen dafür. Anyway, back to English. Gary Owens steps up to the plate. Runner on first base. 1 out, and the pitch is low, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Owens today has walked, hit a sac fly, grounded out, and singled. He scored 2 runs and driven 1 in. Right-hand hitter with a lot of power. Runner on first base, Jay Pecci, 5 for 5 in stolen bases. Not going, the pitch is inside, fastball, 2-0. Hartkopf flirting with danger here, falling behind Gary Owens, who wears the number 42. And when I asked him about that before, I thought maybe it had something to do with Jackie Robinson. It's actually Jamie McOwen's old number. There's the 2-0 swing and a miss. 2-1. I don't need to tell you what Owens was thinking on that one. He who had 13 home runs during the regular year. And a throw over to first base, and Pecci scampers back. There's a fan with a megaphone. Every time the thrower throws to first base, he shouts, "Langweilig." A high pop on the right side in foul ground. The wind is blowing it. Will it stay in play? Yes. Dustin Hughes made the catch behind the dugout roof there as he went out of your screen. And that is the 2nd out of the inning. And that will bring up Mitch Nielsen. Nielsen gets to turn around and bat left-handed again. Nielsen has popped out and walked twice. Popped out twice. Pecci still on first base. Hartkopf's pitch is hit to deep right field, way back. Oh, kiss that ball goodbye. That thing is still flying, folks. 9-5. What a bomb off the bat of Mitch Nielsen, his 18th home run of the year. And this one is worth a replay. Here's the replay on the pitch. It was down and in, right in his wheelhouse. And it flew over the height of the light pole and disappeared beyond that tree that you see just to the right of the foul pole in right field. That ball was a good 95 feet beyond the right field fence. A bomb off the bat of Mitch Nielsen. 9-5 the score. And Simon Göring now at the plate. Göring has 3 hits and 4 runs batted in, and he takes a fastball high. And so that is the 60th home run of the year for the Heidenheim Heideköpfe in 41 games. That is a Bundesliga record. You have to go back to the metal bat days to find something even comparable. And a curve is in for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. If I remember correctly, the Mannheim Tornadoes had over 50 home runs back in the 1990s, I think it was. But that was back when they were using metal bats. And also, the fence in Mannheim is about 250 feet. There's the 1-1. Check swing on a breaking ball. Did he go? They appeal. No, he did not. Ball 2, 2 balls. And 1 strike to Simon Göring. Now that was just a blast off the bat of Mitch Nilsson. The fans here had been waiting for something like that to happen the entire game. And Nilsson did not disappoint. The 2-1 swing and a miss. Göring chasing a high fastball, 2-2.
Come on, clap your hands.
Hartkopf, a little walk behind the mound. It is now 9-5 Heidenheim. The 2-2. Popped foul over the screen off to the right, lands on the hillside. Lots of happy spectators so far here taking this one in. When you sit on the hillside here on the first base side in Heidenheim, you get the evening sun. And with weather like today, it is just beautiful. Only a light breeze of which to speak. The 2-2. Göring hits a ground ball to the right side. Zamit-Preuss to his right field. Throws to first in time to end the inning. But 2 runs on 1 hit. A very long hit. For all we know, it might still be going. A home run off the bat of Mitch Nilsson. Nobody left on base. We're going to the 8th inning here in Game 1. It is 9-5 Heidenheim. This is the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. As we go to the top of the 8th inning, have a look back at some of the highlights from earlier in the game. This was in the first inning. Ben Andrews driving a triple all the way to the wall in right center field. That got 2 runs home for the Solingen Alligators. But then right after that, in the bottom of the first inning, Simon Göring doubled home 3 to give the Heideköpfe a 3-2 lead. Just after that, Simon Göring then doubled again. Let's take another look at this last hit off the bat of Mitch Nilsson. Well, we have to wait for the replay to play all the way through, and then I'll show you that one again. But the Heidenheim Heideköpfe leading by a score of 9-5 as we enter play here in the 8th, and the first pitch is on the outside corner to Johannes Weidemann. 0-1. Weidemann today is 1 for 3. He's singled. Logan Grigsby deals. Ground ball hit to the right side. Glauser fields, flips it to Grigsby covering in time for the out. 3-1 on the putout, 1 down. Heideköpfe fans are counting outs now. The Heidenheim Heideköpfe have won 3 Bundesliga championships in their history, 2009, 2015, and last year in an exciting 5-game series against the Bonn Capitals 2017. And meanwhile, Regensburg leading Bonn 6-1. That game in the 7th inning. Trying to hand Bonn their first loss of the season. The first pitch is upstairs and high, ball 1 to Linus Hartmann. And the 1-0. Inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Logan Grigsby on in relief of Clayton Frymuth, who gave Klaus Eckler 6 tough innings. He allowed 5 runs on 14 hits. There's a pitch popped foul. That's going to go out of play, strike 1. But Frymuth would be in line to get the victory in this game, as he was still the pitcher of record when Heidenheim took the lead. Simon Göring out to have a chat with Logan Grigsby. Maybe he saw something he didn't like on that last delivery. Linus Hartmann, at the plate. He's 1 for 3. Number 9 hitter. He struck out twice and hit a very solid single to right field. After him, it's the top of the order, Lars Zamait-Price. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Solingen had started out leading. They had a 2-0 lead, but it didn't last long as Heidenheim, after 2 innings, led 5-2. Solingen scored 2 in the 3rd and 1 in the 5th to tie the game. Solingen has never had the lead since the 1st inning. The pitch is upstairs. 3-1 the count to Linus Hartmann. But Heidenheim with a 2 spot in the 6th and 7th inning. Swing and a miss on a 3-1. Now the count 3-2. Heidenheim leading 9-5. They have 9 runs on 9 hits in this game. They've been given more than their fair share of walks, 10 to be exact. The payoff, hit on the ground on a big chopper to short. Going to be a long throw for Philip Schultz, and Linus Hartmann beats it out. As that ball took a big bounce, and Schultz had to back up to field it from deep short. He bounced the throw to first base, I think on purpose, but Hartmann beat it out easily. That's an infield single, so Linus is now 2 for 2. And once again, Solingen trying to make it tough. They've only had 2 1-2-3 innings. One of them was last inning against Logan Grigsby. And now the top of the order, Lars Zamait-Price. Zamait-Price is 2 for 4. Grounded out, struck out, and then singled twice. His last hit was very well struck. Hartmann on first base, very short lead, not going to be going. And the pitch is a strike at the knees in the outside corner from Grigsby, 0-1. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Hartmann on first base. 1 out, infield back looking for 2. Here's the pitch. And a curve gets away from Göring and goes to the screen. And Hartmann will take second base on the wild pitch. That's not insignificant. A 4-run lead for the Heideköpfe, but if the Alligators could push across a run here, they just pull themselves that much closer, especially before the fat part of their order is coming up. They might bat this inning. There has been nothing automatic feeling about this ball game. Grigsby had a very sharp inning last inning, but now he's got the runner at second base with 1 out. 1-1 to Zamait-Price, the pitch. And that's in there on the inside corner, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Solingen trying to answer the 4 runs the Heideköpfe have scored in the last 2 innings, trying to scratch their way back. They have 15 hits in this game. And the 1-2, that's another curve, and it spins way short of the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Grigsby had the curveball working last inning, but so far not this inning. And you can see him really reach back, try to get around that pitch. And that changes things. If he can't throw that pitch for a strike, the experienced hitters are going to start sitting on the fastball. The 2-2. Fastball is high. And now the count 3-2. You have Daniel Sanchez, a very, very tough hitter on deck for the Alligators. This ball game far from over. Runner at second base, Linus Hartmann. And the payoff pitch. That's way outside, ball 4, 2 on, and 1 out. And now it's the Solingen fans that you hear in the background. Daniel Sanchez will come to the plate.
Die 9, Daniel Sanchez.
Sanchez today has singled twice, flat out, and struck out. 2 for 4. And Klaus Eckle on his way to the mound. And there's some activity now in the bullpen for the Heideköpfe. Looks like Simon Liedke is going to start throwing. Right now, Klaus Eckle talking things over with Logan Grigsby. He's going out there, probably a little pep talk, say, hey, you know, we have a 4-run lead. Don't be giving away free base runners. Don't try to be too fancy. You got to just throw strikes, first of all. You don't give yourself much of a chance without doing that, of course. And the conversation is over. Eckle returns to the dugout. There's 1 out. Daniel Sanchez, I highly doubt he will not be. I highly doubt he'll be bunting. And in fact, Jay Pecci at third is not playing up, looking for a bunt. Sanchez, an aggressive hitter, puts bat on ball. He's a difficult guy to strike out and a difficult guy to double up. Here's the pitch, and it's high, ball 1. Now, Grigsby in the first inning really attacked the strike zone. This inning, his fastball is missing up. 1-0 on Sanchez. Here's the pitch. And there's a fastball that catches the outside corner of the knees. That's an important pitch for Grigsby. Get himself back into the at-bat. Runners on first and second with 1 out. 9-5, Heidenheim leading Solingen, game 1. Grigsby from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Curveball, and that one hit him. And the bases are loaded. And the tying run is going to come to the plate. And who is it? That man, Wilson Lee. Well, if you're Solingen, this is what you want. Linus Hartmann with 1 out, singled. It just hit a little ground ball to deep short. And since then, Grigsby has lost the strike zone. He walked Lars Zamait-Preuss on a payoff pitch and hit Daniel Sanchez. And so now the tying run at the plate in the person of Wilson Lee, who's 3 for 4. And the pitch. Fastball is outside, ball 1. Lee nearly left the ballpark his last time up, hit a drive to deep right that hit the top of the fence. And if you remember, just before that, Zamait-Preuss was caught stealing. Bases loaded, 1 out, infield looking for 2. The 1-0. Fouled to the screen, and Wilson Lee had a game-tying swing at that one. Oh, you know what he's trying to do? A little bit of a nervous energy here in the park now.
Come on, clap your hands.
The runner at third is Linus Hartmann. The runner at second, Lars Zamait-Preuss. Daniel Sanchez at first. 1-1 to Wilson Lee. A long look in for the sign from from Logan Grigsby. Now he's got one, but Lee calls time. Little cat and mouse. There you see the Solingen fans. They set up right next to the Solingen dugout. And they're ready to make some noise. 1-1, bases loaded. The pitch. Curveball in the dirt, blocked by Goering. Ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Big moment in this ball game. And Grigsby deliberately comes set. 2-1, the pitch. Fastball strike on the outside corner. Lee, I think, was looking for something else, and he let that one go by. That looked like a pitch. That looked similar to the pitch that he nearly hit out of the ballpark his last time. I think he was maybe sitting on a slider. Grigsby has not been able to control his off-speed pitch this inning. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out, bases loaded. Here it comes. And it's low, ball 3. The bases are loaded with a full count now. And you got Lars Anderson is on deck. This is where Solingen can hurt you. A big, big pitch coming. Grigsby is set. And the payoff is hit in the air to center field. That is a base hit. In to score is Hartmann, and they will hold Zamite Preuss at third. Everybody moves up. It's 9-6 on an RBI single, the fourth hit of the day for Wilson Lee. He was jammed on the pitch, but it's good enough to get home a run. Take a look at this one. Grigsby had to come in with it on 3-2, and he did. And Wilson Lee muscling that one into center field. Bases still loaded, and now Lars Anderson representing the go-ahead run. One out in the inning. Bases loaded. Heideköpfe would love a double play. That is the 16th base hit of the game for the Solingen Alligators. Anderson today is he's 1 for 4. Reached on a fielder's choice. And Grigsby from the set deals. Fastball strike on the inside corner. Anderson shakes his head. Nothing in one the count. Bases loaded, one out. 9-6 the score. And Grigsby at some point is going to have to find his breaking pitch this inning. And Anderson waited until Grigsby came set to ask for time. That was deliberate. Nothing in one the count. Zamite Preuss at third. Sanchez at second. Lee at first. Good speed on the bases. The pitch. Fouled away. 0-2 now. Now Grigsby would love a strikeout. He's way out in front now. You could take the chance. He's struggled throwing that breaking ball. But if he can get one, he would try to, I assume, to try to throw it down and in. I'm not sure he would try to do a backdoor breaking ball here. Too much danger that he hangs it. No balls, 2 strikes on Lars Anderson. Grigsby set, bases loaded, the pitch. Pulled foul sharply down the first base side. That ball ricochets off the railing and caroms all the way back onto the field. Anderson was not fooled by that pitch, and I think it might have been an off-speed pitch inside. He was way out in front. Now the Solingen Alligators trying to fight their way back in this one. This has been a tough ball game from both sides. 9-6, we're in the top of the 8th inning. One out, but the base is loaded. And the 0-2. Popped foul again. Another good swing by Anderson against Grigsby. There you see the noisemakers of the Solingen fans. They're outnumbered in terms of Heidenheim fans, but not necessarily by noise. They're making a lot of noise over there. 0-2 on Lars Anderson. Bases loaded, one out. The pitch. Curveball just missed outside. Just. Let's take a look at that one on the replay. That was the backdoor breaking ball, and that was a good one. I was way outside, actually. What am I talking about? It was in the dirt when you look at it. From my angle, I could not see how far outside that was. But when I looked at it again on the center field camera, nowhere close. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Grigsby sets up outside. Grigsby, who looked like a different person on the mound last inning, is really deliberate right now, obviously in a jam, facing a former major league hitter. 1-2, and the pitch. Fastball taken high, and the count even. Anderson has worked it back to a 2-2 count.
2 strikes, was für ein Haufenpitzel hier im Heideköpfe Ballpark. Auf geht's, Logan, auf geht's, defense.
This inning started with a very nicely played ground out, but then single, walk, hit batter, single. Bases loaded, 2-2, the pitch. Ripped down the first baseline, foul, and Anderson proving to be a very, very tough customer for Logan Grigsby. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Fans trying to cheer him on. This is a pretty good battle. Bases loaded, 9-6. Heidenheim leading, but that lead is in jeopardy right now. The 2-2. Ripped into right field. That is a base hit. Zamite Price will score. Sanchez being waved around. Larry comes up throwing. His throw is cut off. And it is 9-8 on a 2-run single off the bat of Lars Anderson. First and third, still only one out. Lars Anderson now with 2 hits on the day, and after a long battle with Logan Grigsby, he got a pitch out over the plate and just ripped it into right field. See that quick bat, and Sean Larry, all he could do was fire it back in, and Klaus Eckle out to the mound. That might be it for Logan Grigsby, and it will be. So Logan Grigsby will depart. Well, he had a great 7th inning, not so much the 8th inning. And Klaus Eckle is forced to go to his bullpen. It's a 9-8 ball game. Simon Liedke, the little strike thrower, is going to come in and try to stop the bleeding. He's going to have to face Ben Andrews. And we'll take a short break. This is the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Well, Simon Liedke is on. Klaus Eckle trying to find someone to piece together the back end of this ball game. Simon Liedke, no easy task. He will take on Ben Andrews. Liedke, if you want to know the good news, he threw 6 innings this year and he has an ERA of 0. He throws a lot of strikes, does not throw very hard. First and third, 1 out, and the pitch to Andrews is swung on and fouled at the plate. Andrews, a very healthy cut, 0-1. Andrews is 2 for 4. He's got 4 runs batted in, a single and a triple. His triple got all of this started in the top of the first inning. Liedke, the 3rd pitcher for the Heideköpfe. Ball game was started by Clayton Freimuth, who went 6 through 101 pitches. Logan Grigsby, 1 1/3. He's responsible for the 2 runs that have scored here, or the 3 runs that have scored in this inning, plus the 2 runners on base. 0-1, Liedke to Ben Andrews. The pitch, curveball, a slow roller towards third. Pecci charges. He's going to come home. The throw is in time. They got him at home plate. As Wilson Lee was going on contact, it was a slowly hit ground ball. Pecci had to charge and fire it home to Simon Göring, who blocked the plate once he had the ball, and Wilson Lee is out. That's a huge play. It's a fielder's choice. Take another look at it on the replay. Pecci running with his momentum. His throw was a little low, and Lee never quite got to home plate. Collisions are, no longer illegal, but the plate is also not allowed to be blocked unless the catcher has the ball. In that case, Simon Göring had the ball. So fielder's choice, Wilson Lee is out number 2. And Anderson goes to second. Andrews goes to first. Tying run in scoring position now for Dustin Hughes. And Liedke's pitch is low and outside, ball 1. One ball, no strikes, the pitch. Fouled right back to the screen. Good cut by Dustin Hughes, 1-1. Hughes is 1 for 4 today. He struck out twice, reached on a fielder's choice, and singled. It is a 9-8 game. Heidenheim leading. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Lots of action in this one. And you get the feeling it's going to come down to the wire, as we are deep into the bullpens of both teams. 1-1, Liedke's pitch. Curveball, swing and a miss. Simon Liedke is not an imposing figure on the mound, but man, he can throw strikes. And he snapped off a pretty good curveball, and Dustin Hughes went chasing that one way out of the strike zone. Anderson is the runner at second base. Andrews the runner at first. The pitch, a curve. Got him looking at the very top of the zone on the inside corner. Hughes did not like the call. Simon Liedke does, and the inning is over. And the Heideköpfe escape. Boy, look at that pitch. That's a beautiful pitch. Liedke knew it. He just started strutting to the dugout after that one. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Don't touch that dial, folks. 9-8 Heidenheim. This is the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. So, what's going to happen in the bottom of the 8th inning? Let's find out, shall we? 9-8 Heidenheim leading Solingen here in Game 1. Nils Hartköpf on the mound, and the first man he will face is Ludwig Glaser. Outside, ball 1 with the first pitch. Glaser today 1 for 4 with an RBI single. He drove home the run that broke the 5-5 tie. The next pitch, a good curveball in for a strike from Hartköpf. 1-1. I expect it will get louder and louder as this game progresses. We're in the bottom of the 8th. 9-8 Heidenheim. And Hartköpf's pitch popped up, foul territory. Hughes over near the railing. Does he have a play? Yes, he does, and he makes the catch. As he goes out of reach. Dustin Hughes has caught a couple of those today, having to sort of fend against that railing in front of the Heideköpfe dugout and bullpen area. One away here in the bottom of the 8th inning. So Solingen had to settle for 3 runs on 4 hits in the top of the 8th inning. The tying run was thrown out at home plate on that play by Jay Pecci. He threw out Wilson Lee trying to score. Simon Liedke striking out Dustin Hughes looking to end the threat. And so Solingen pulled to within 1. Here is Sean Larry. The pitch is inside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. But think back to when Wilson Lee doubled deep off the wall in the 6th inning. Prior to that, Lars Zametkreuz was thrown out stealing. That would have been a run. There's a swing and a pop foul out of play, 1-1. Instead, Lee was stranded at second base, and the Alligators didn't score that inning. If this score holds 9-8, the Alligators would be kicking themselves for that. But any good baseball game has a ton of what-ifs in it, and this one is no different. The 1-1 is fouled. A very weak swing by Sean Larry. He's shortened up and tried to fight that pitch off. It looked like he was swinging as if he had 2 strikes, and I think he was fooled by the movement of the pitch. One ball, 2 strikes to Sean Larry. 9-8 Heidenheim in the bottom of the 8th inning. Niels Hartkopf deals. That's the backdoor curveball, or the back foot curveball rather, and it was way inside. Two and 2 with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. The pitch up high with a fastball, full count now, 3-2. On deck, Johannes Krum. 6, 7, and 8 in the order for the Heideköpfe here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And the payoff. Curveball is ripped down the first base line, but it's foul. It was grabbed by Dustin Hughes to his gloved side. And Niels Hartkopf going with that 3-2 breaking pitch to Sean Larry. Larry rolling over and yanking it down the first base line, but just to the right of the bag. And the payoff pitch coming again. Swing and a miss. He threw the breaking ball again, and Sean Larry strikes out. Good pitch by Niels Hartkopf. Take another look at this. He threw it one time, why not throw it again? That pitch was maybe hanging a little bit in the very middle of the strike zone, but Larry was looking for the fastball and just whiffed on it. So now Johannes Krum with 2 outs, and the Heideköpfe, as we look to the top of the 9th, if the Heideköpfe don't score here, it will be 7-8-9 due up. First pitch is inside to Johannes Krum for ball 1. It will be 7-8-9 due up for the Alligators if you're looking ahead to the top of the 9th inning against Simon Liedke. 1-0 on Johannes Krum. The pitch, breaking ball, is taken, ball 2. The Alligators had a lead in the first inning, and then they were able to tie the game in the 5th, but they have not had a lead since. The pitch is a strike on the inside corner. 2-1, a fastball catching the inside edge. Krum was diving way out over the plate, looking for something away, and that one ran in on his hands. 2-1. Breaking ball is inside, 3-1. Niels Hartkopf came on in relief in the... Now the pitch is tapped foul, 3-2.
Come on, clap your hands.
Hartkopf came on in relief in the 6th inning. And he's been effective since then. 3-2 on Johannes Krum with 2 outs. The pitch, line drive, just fouled on the third base line as he turned on a pitch. Yeah, Hartkopf came on, and the first 2 batters he faced, in fact, first 3, walked. He singled and then intentionally walked Larry. Let me say that again. Ludwig Glaser singled to drive in a run, and then a second scored on an error. Then they walked Larry, and Johannes Krum walked, and then Philip Schultz hit into an inning-ending double play to kill the rally. Hartkopf gave up the 2-run home run to Nilsson in the 7th, and he's trying to get through the 8th. There's another breaking ball pulled foul off the bat of Johannes Krum. He's been throwing that breaking ball on 3 balls and 2 strikes. And it's a final in Regensburg. The Legionnaire defeating the Bonn Capitals 6-1. Check swing on a breaking ball, and did he go? No, I guess. I didn't see any call from Jens Weider. So that's ball 4. Dandy Bacco had asked Weider if he went around on the swing, and Weider now, I think Weider couldn't see it. He's got the sun right in his eyes. So that is a walk. The pitch was in the dirt. There was a little bit of confusion as Johannes Weidemann decided to throw down to first base just in case, and there had been no call, so the appeal was denied anyway. So top of the order now. No, excuse me, bottom of the order. Number 9, Philip Schultz. With Krum on first base and 2 outs, the pitch to Schultz. Fouled to the screen, strike 1. The Heideköpfe would love to get an insurance run here in the bottom of the 8th to give Simon Liedke, who is going to try to go out there and get the save. The win, if they can do it, would go to Freimuth, but we're not there yet. There's a throw to first base, and Johannes Krum is back. Krum is not a base stealer, 0 for 1 this year. Somewhat surprising that we don't see a pinch runner for him, but he's on first. The pitch, the slow roller out in front of the plate, trickling up the first baseline, foul, fielded by Hughes. That's strike 2. And the drumming begins now from the Heidenheim fans as we see Philip Schultz walking back up the first baseline. 9-8 Heidenheim leading Solingen. There you see the fans. And the drummer. Oh, and 2 on Philip Schultz. And the pitch. Breaking ball tapped back to Hartkopf. In and out of his glove. He can't find it, and he has no play. Everybody is safe. Well, that's huge for the Heideköpfe because it allows Sascha Lutz the chance to come to the plate here with 2 outs and 2 on. It was a comebacker. Hartkopf knocked it down. It came out of his glove and settled on the grass to the third base side of the mound, and by the time he picked it up, the speedy Schultz was already crossing first base. And so, Sascha Lutz now. Lutz today has walked 3 times and been hit by a pitch. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. That was his last at-bat against Niels Hartkopf. So Lutz been doing a lot of walking today. Krum at second, Schultz at first, 2 outs. And the pitch. Fastball is high and inside, 1 ball, no strikes. This is a good ball game. As we expected, it's never a dull moment between the Alligators and the Heideköpfe. Forget what you think you know about both of these teams and just sit back and enjoy what happens. 1-0 the pitch. That's a strike on the inside corner. Lutz is really crowding the plate. He's almost walking into the pitch as it comes, and that one was over the inside corner and it nearly hit. One ball, 1 strike. Hartkopf to Lutz with 2 on and 2 out in the 8th. The pitch. Fouled away. He went to that slow curveball, and Sascha fought it off to the left side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Don't forget, tomorrow we'll be right back here at 2 p.m. for Game 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And the pitch. Curveball is rolled up the first base side, foul. Back-to-back curveballs from Heideköpfe to Sascha Lutz. That one, he nearly hit off of his foot. If you're just joining us, the scoring started immediately in this game. Solingen with 2 in the first, 2 in the third, 1 in the fifth, and 3 in the eighth. Those are their 8 runs. Heidenheim with 3 in the first, 2 in the second, and 2 each in the sixth and seventh. Trying to tack on another or 2 here in the eighth rather. Sascha swings and misses and strikes out. And Niels Heideköpfe with a fastball after 2 curveballs, and Lutz was late on the swing. He struck out twice against Niels Heideköpfe, and the Heideköpfe will have to settle for going to the 9th inning with a 1-run lead. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 left. At the end of 8 innings of play here in Heidenheim, it is the Heideköpfe 9, the Solingen Alligators 8. This is the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Welcome to the top of the 9th inning here in Heidenheim. The Heideköpfe clinging to a 9-8 lead, and the 17-year-old Simon Liedke is going to try to close it out. He's going to face Markus Stritzek, Johannes Weidemann, and Linus Hartmann. The first pitch is outside for ball 1. 7-8-9 in the order for the Solingen Alligators. Stritzek today is 1 for 4. He singled back in the 5th inning. And the pitch, swing and a tapper foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, Solingen in the 8th inning scored 3 runs, and then they had the tying run, Wilson Lee, thrown out at home plate on a fielder's choice. As Liedke came in to try to clean up Logan Grigsby's mess. 1 ball and 1 strike on Markus Stritzek. The pitch, curve and a beauty, strike 2. Simon Liedke, his birthday is October the 24th of 2000. And the 1-2. Fouled to the screen, a defensive swing from Stritzek. The Heideköpfe have had to lean on young pitching this year, more so than in the past. They've had Marcel Giraud also getting 20 innings, Patrick Seyfried, and Simon Liedke as well. And Liedke has really shown an ability to throw strikes. And the pitch, that one is a fastball riding inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. He came on to put out the fire last inning, and he struck out Dustin Hughes looking to end the threat with a breaking ball. The 2-2. Curve ball, swing and a miss, strike 3. 1 down in the 9th inning. And that'll bring Johannes Weidemann. Johannes today is 1 for 4. Well, for the Heideköpfe, you couldn't write it any better to have the bottom of the lineup for the Alligators due up here in the 9th inning. They've been pesky today. They have gotten on base, but they haven't been as difficult as the top. There's a slow ground ball to short. Philip Schultz with a throw. He throws high, and the tag was applied. Ludwig Glaser came down and tagged out Weidemann on the way by. 2 down. Oh, good play by Ludwig Glaser to come down and bring that tag. 6-3 on the putout. Glaser saving an errant throw. Take another look at it on the replay. got him on the shoulder as he was whizzing by. 2 down in the 9th inning, and it will be up to Linus Hartmann. If Hartmann can get aboard, you got the top of the order and all kinds of problems for the Heideköpfe. Lars Zamait-Preuss on deck, but Simon Liedke, the 17-year-old kid, trying to close it out. The pitch is inside, ball 1. After the ball game, folks, look for a very quickly produced podcast on Mindsport Radio where we will recap these games, both here and in Regensburg, as the pitch is fouled out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike, probably about a half hour, maybe an hour after game time. So we'll be recapping both the game in Regensburg and the game here. Regensburg defeating Bonn by a score of 6-1. Bonn's first loss of the year. Here, Heidenheim 1 out away from defeating Solingen in a nail-biter. 9-8 they lead here. And the highlights also will go up on EuroBaseballTV.com shortly after the game, maybe about an hour or so, however long it takes me to put it together. The 1-1, inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. But don't forget, this one's not over yet. There are 2 outs in the 9th inning, yes, but it's only a 1-run lead. Two and 1, the pitch to Hartmann. Popped foul, out of play. And that is the second strike, and the Alligators are down to their last strike. If Hartmann makes out, that will only be the 3rd time in this ball game that the Alligators have gone 1-2-3 in an inning. They have had base runners galore. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Liedke, the 17-year-old, deals. Fouled away. Hartmann chasing a high fastball, put a pretty good whack on it, and it went straight back to the screen. Ben Andrews with 4 runs batted in for Solingen. Simon Göring with 4 runs batted in for the Heideköpfe. Mitch Nilsson with a long 2-run home run, and now the Heideköpfe fans on their feet. The pitch outside, ball 3, and a full count. The fans starting to stand. Hartmann has something in his eyes. 8 runs on 17 hits, 1 error for the Alligators. 9-10-0 for the Heideköpfe. Good clean ball game. Just the 1 error in center field. The payoff pitch popped up, foul ground. Pecci giving it a look. Is it going to be over the railing? He is going to run out of room. That ball lands in the bullpen. We'll do it again. Game 2 tomorrow at 2 p.m. We will have that for you.
Come on, clap your hands.
And if it's anything like this one, you're going to have an entertaining afternoon. This one has been a lot of fun. Three balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The ball game is over and Heidenheim wins 9-8. Simon Liedke, 17 years old, slams the door. He retires 5 hitters in a row, including 3 strikeouts. And the ball game goes to the Heidenheim Heideköpfe. Game ending at 5:37 p.m. About 2.5 hours, almost exactly. And an exciting one it was. Alligators made it very interesting as they took the lead in the first inning thanks to a Ben Andrews triple. But then Simon Göring cleared the bases in the bottom of the first inning, and the Heideköpfe never really looked back. The highlights will be up shortly after this one, and also look for a Bundesliga special podcast from meinsportradio.de. Shortly after this one, I'll be talking to Andreas Thies in a very short while. My name is Tim Collins. I'd like to thank you for tuning in to the broadcast. I'd also like to thank Josh Elgart, who is over there doing the camera. And I'd like to thank you, the viewers, for tuning in. Don't forget, tomorrow at 2 p.m., we'll be right back with the second game of the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal. Thanks also to the sponsor, the Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. And that's it for me from Heidenheim today. We'll see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. The final score, the Heidenheim Heideköpfe 9, the Solingen Alligators 8. This has been the 2018 Bundesliga Finale Game 1, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD.